You know what? Okay. All right. This is what I'm going to do.
Welcome back to the Comics Aficionados. We are already arguing and having a good time behind the scenes, but we decided to let you all in on it. Your Saturday morning delight is back to talk about the world of nerd stuff. And we do have making his triumphant return, sounding like a feeble old man, Mr. Burns style, Weird Science Jim. How you doing, Jim?
Hey there. Hey there, everybody. Yeah, I sounded a little better earlier this week. Now I don't sound great. I think it's because I saw Gabe was on the panel. That's what happened.
Killed your spirit?
Yeah, it killed me. Yeah, I'm
That's the life of the ball bag.
Ball bag Hernandez in the house.
Fantastic.
All right, Jim. You were out for quite some time. You had some medical issues. It sounds like it was far worse than we even realized. You didn't even let me know.
No, I didn't want you to get that upset. I know you would get so upset. But yeah, I almost died. But that's, I didn't. So I'm here.
So you had walking pneumonia.
Yes.
And you couldn't breathe and you were coughing up blood.
Yes.
So they treated that. And then when you finally got your chest x-rays to make sure that pneumonia was gone, they realized you had, 5 blood clots in your lungs?
Yeah, I had blood clots in my lungs. So I had some pulmonary embolisms or whatever the heck they're. And so they gave me blood thinners. And then the worst of that is because I'm a klutz. I kept running into things. I look like the bruised man. I've changed my color, and I just kept blaming my wife. I told everybody that I'm getting beat by her, and but it seems okay. Now I still have a cough. I can't get my voice back, and I have this. I've coughed so much I pulled a muscle in my side. I'm a wreck.
Well, apparently you also coughed up like an octopus.
Yeah. At one point, I did cough up something that was like a bloody octopus. It was not good, and I was in the car, so I didn't know what was going on. But it was coming up. I'm like, oh god! And then I kind of wanted to see, and I kind of got it in my hand and threw it out the window. It may have hit a car.
I'm pretty sure that was part of your lungs, sir.
I think it was. I think it was. It freaked me out. I was so freaked out. It was so bad. And then everybody I told my kids and my wife, and all they wanted to do was see it. I'm like, I threw it out the window.
Should have taken a picture. I wanted to see it.
And then it slithered away because it's actually
it did. I saw it. It possessed the next man. But it was not
Rob
fun.
wants to know, Jim, any diarrhea?
That's not what Rob wrote.
Yes, Rob. There was some.
Diarrhea. Diarrhea.
I think I know what he meant there. There you go.
I don't think
The answer is yes.
Yes. At one point. That's the thing. When I had walking pneumonia, I also had COVID. So I had COVID.
You also had COVID.
Pneumonia. Then had this. I still can't breathe very well.
Do they know if you had the blood clots beforehand?
No.
You might have just been walking around with 5 blood clots in your lungs for a year and not known it.
Maybe. Yeah. The guy ended up saying that usually people notice this after like a day or so, and then they come in and like each day there's more of a chance of it, breaking loose and going somewhere else and things. And so I guess they just stayed put.
Those blood clots are as stubborn as Jim.
Yeah.
Like, fuck that, I'm not moving.
I like that Jim just goes, hey, I'm gonna get some blood clots in my lungs. Why don't I get COVID too? Let's just have all the things that I'll get some pneumonia. Let's just get it all at once.
Yeah. So they were probably there. The pneumonia, they said, probably blocked it from being whatever it was, but I couldn't breathe. I was having problems. And it was a combination of all of my gas.
Yeah, my wife, a little voice text in it. It sounded like.
I sent you that just to make sure you knew I was not joking. It was bad. But just to point out too, I don't smoke or anything like that. My wife vapes. She didn't stop that habit and was blowing shit in my face the whole time, and I was gonna kill her. If I could have got up, I would have strangled her to death right in my face. And then I'd say, I remember at one point I said, can you just do that in another room? And her response was, it's all about you, isn't it? I said, yes, at this point it is. Please. And again, my voice, this has been like almost 3 months now. It's getting on to like 2.5, 3 months, and I still can't talk. It sucks.
But you just got back into the grind of reading books.
Yeah. I had 2 months off from Marvel. I was still reading DC, but Marvel, I kind of took a break. So,
did your net happiness increase?
Yes. Well, I do. That's what saved me. I actually lived because I wasn't reading Marvel books. But yeah. So you
came in for like the last 2 issues of Death Spiral, and he's like, I got to get caught up. I was like, you don't need to get caught up on this. Jim. You can probably just run it from here, buddy. There's no reason to do that.
And once you started explaining what it was, because that's like right when I went down, I'm like, well, what's going on with this? And you started, oh my God, the explanation needed an explanation because the thing doesn't make sense.
Nonsensical is definitely the term I would use.
Also, I got a message, Jim, that AL sent you an email that you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, I had to tell AL. I just saw it the other day. I hadn't been checking anything, and I hadn't been able to leave the house. I had been stuck in the house. I couldn't get out of bed. So I did see that she sent something. So thank you, AL, and I will try to use that this week.
So you would say if you're feeling under the weather, maybe you've got COVID, maybe you've got even bigger issues, stop reading Marvel comics and you might heal up?
Yep, you'll heal up. It might take a while, but you'll heal. That is the healing touch. No Marvel.
And probably says, has Jim's wife lately been researching exotic poisons?
Well, I told my kids at one point earlier, and I told them again, that if I do die, you just don't let Mom cremate me immediately with no autopsy. And then I said, you got to look into it. I actually did accuse her at one point. I thought she might have been poisoning me. It was pretty bad. And then the vape was like, that was the cherry on top.
It's all about you, isn't it, Jim?
It is. Yeah. You know, at that point, wheezing and couldn't breathe, couldn't get a full breath. And she's just like vaping away. It
always tasted like cherries.
No, I think it was some like Fruity Pebbles bullshit. And it was the worst.
Now they have breakfast cereal flavored vaping.
They got every freaking flavor, I think. I don't know. She's
my girlfriend's
nothing wrong with her breath.
Mango.
Yeah, they have a lot of crazy stuff. But
do they have like orange sickle? Because that was always my favorite popsicle. The creamsicle.
Well,
they absolutely.
That, yeah.
There's no way they wouldn't have creamsicle. And I don't even know anything about vaping, aside from the fact that it gives you popcorn lung.
Exactly.
Maybe Jim has popcorn lung for secondhand.
Oh, I thought about it. I thought of it. I'm telling you all this stuff because of her stupid nonsense. But I'm trying.
But you had a good time this week. You actually had multiple hots. It feels like your optimism and outlook just on comic books and life has gotten better.
Well, I was sitting there and I reevaluated my existence. Well, no, there were some good books this week.
Dude, you were raving about Superman.
Yeah. That was the best book of the week, I thought. Pretty good.
What say you, Dylan? You're the big Superman fan. Did you think that was an amazing issue?
It was really good. Yeah, I'm enjoying what he's doing with Superboy Prime. I like it a lot.
I thought it was great. That was probably my favorite issue too.
Yeah.
I love it when the girl's hitting on him and he doesn't even realize it.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, why would I need to do that? It's like, I got all these comics right here.
You can come to my house and read some back issues if you like. He's like, no need. Look at all these books here in the shop.
It's great.
And then telling Mom, Pa Kent, like, there's so many people that want you guys dead. I'm so glad you're alive.
Like, he doesn't even realize.
Oh man, he's so off-putting, but without knowing it, it's relatable. I like the.
It's not relatable, Wes. You know exactly how off-putting you are.
That's probably true. It's fine. But I've been there, when he's trying to be friends with Damian Wayne, and Damian is like being a complete hard ass and jerk to him, and then finally when he decides to open up to him and be like, yeah, we can be friends, he just flies off. He's like, I gotta go.
When Damian decides to open someone up, that's an entirely different meaning than opening up.
Yeah.
What did you think of Superman Game? You're the hard ass. You're the Gabe Hernandez is a ball bag guy on the review site.
I gotta admit, I was hugely skeptical of doing anything with Superboy Prime. I thought it was like, oh, why are we going back to this? He's already done with. He's in a pocket. Just leave him there. Just leave him there. You've got too much work to do rebuilding Superman up to try and match whatever is going on with Batman. I gotta, I'll eat crow on this one. I am enjoying this run. I don't know why. Just because, you know what it is? Because he's not about doom and gloom and everything is so dour and it's the end of the world. He's kind of goofy, but he's having fun with it at the same time. You feel that fun energy coming through. And I think that's why it almost differentiates that title from almost everything else that DC's doing right now. It's not so grim and serious. Not that everything is overly grim and serious, but there's a pep and an energy to that comic that I'm enjoying quite a bit, much more than I thought I would.
I'm with you, dude.
Yep.
I like that one a lot. Although you did have the sus take of the week this week.
Which one? You're gonna have to be more specific. I have lots of
G.I. Joe, Real American Hero, Silent Issues, Copperhead. You said was a fucking banger.
I liked it a lot. You didn't like it?
That shit was confusing as hell.
It was confusing, but I liked it.
The setup was confusing.
I liked the art.
I thought
the setup was confusing. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was fun, but I would say like the continuity of like where to go, where to follow was a little confusing. I'd agree there, but I still had fun with it. It was enjoyable.
The connection between the trophy and the picture of his father didn't make a whole lot of sense because
I think it's his dad won like a swamp boat trophy when he was a kid, and he decided
something
to get
like
drunk
that
and enter an underground motorcycle race so he could find someone that knew how to get to the swamp boat race.
Yeah, it would have made more sense if the trophy he was going after during the races looked exactly like the trophy in the picture. So you could say, "Oh, I'm going after the thing that my father had," so I can kind of get closer to my father or remember him. But they were different, so it didn't make a lot of sense. It was a disconnect there. I would put this issue above the Zartan issue, but still below the Crimson Guard issue. The Crimson Guard issue so far is the best one. Yeah,
Crimson Guard is definitely the best one. Yeah, oh, it was great.
And Baroness is the worst so far, although not on art.
Yeah, that was terrible. And it's Declan Shalvey. So what do you expect?
That's fair.
Baroness one looked pretty good though.
Yeah, because it's Joelle Jones.
Yeah, she can do a pretty good Baroness, but that story was a bit of a mess.
Yeah, couldn't understand anything that was going on.
So how many of these silent issues do we have left? Like one? I think it was 5 of them, right?
I think there's 1 or 2 more.
Yeah,
I think they do. I think they do them basically in 1 month chunks.
Yeah.
Take a quick look.
So sounds like you liked Copperhead more than me, Dale?
Yeah,
I thought the art was good, but the story was kind of butt cheeks.
I thought it was good. It was just one of those where the sequencing was confusing at times to tell like where
it was a silent issue that needed dialogue.
Yeah.
But I still enjoyed it. It was fun watching him go on races and also just like seeing that this wasn't as deep of a thing for him, like as it was kind of built up to be. It was just he just needed a distraction, he needs something to do, but the second he gets his call from Cobra, he's out. I liked it. It was fun.
I think it plays well to Copperhead's personality. He's not supposed to be, a really dedicated member of Cobra necessarily. He's supposed to be a swamp rat.
He's a lone wolf.
If you read his file card, he's basically a dreadnought. It's just a swamp rat that likes making money, likes gambling, likes stealing. So I thought that this played in well. That's one thing I think that the silent issues, these little spotlights on individual characters, I think they've done really well with, is because clearly, when the writer comes in, for the most of the time, they're coming in with an idea who the character is, And I feel like this is somebody who probably had the Copperhead figure as a kid. Copperhead was their boy. They're like, this dude's cool, and they're like, I'm gonna write a cool little Copperhead tale, and just leave it to the personality. Mm-hmm.
All right, Sparrow, what's Copperhead's real name?
It's classified, man. It's unknown.
Well, what's his backstory? I know that you've memorized his little file card.
He's a swamp rat. Gung Ho said about him, he's got a heart full of gimme and a mouth full of much obliged. So there you go. That's a little thing at the bottom where occasionally you'd get like a G.I. Joe member or a Cobra member weighing in on the character.
There's one more silent issue in this round. It's Firefly is next.
Oh,
and Firefly, I really want to read.
Oh, that'd be good. Who's doing that one?
Jorge Fornes.
Oh, even better. I like Jorge Fornes. Do you like them giving the top billing to the artist on the book? I think it's pretty smart.
Well, they should, considering the writer doesn't do anything.
Yeah, they're
Well,
doing
but
the
he also
Bolas.
wrote the script. Jorge wrote the script.
Oh, he does the script too?
Yeah.
Man. So what you been up to, Sparrow? Did you get any good toys this week?
Yeah, actually, I've got I hit Ross, so I found some stuff. I actually, you always talk to me about the Godzilla toys. I actually did get a Godzilla this week. I walked into Ross and they had the McFarlane Godzilla with the. Sorry about that. They had the Godzilla with the Superman figure. So that was on clearance. So I picked that up. I picked up the Merciless, and unfortunately, he comes with another version of the Batman Who Laughs, which is a character that I hate. But the Merciless was done like in all red. That was at Ross for $15. That's like a $60-$70 set originally. So I grabbed that. I picked up Dan from Street Fighter Storm Arena. Yeah. Oh, I bought the Cobra Divers or the Cobra and G.I. Joe Divers have gone on clearance. They're like $27 at Target. So I picked up several of those. So yeah, it's been a good week for toys. Yeah. I mean, you got to have, now granted the Cobra Eels, are really the Cobra Divers. Those are the really good ones. And we got Hydro Viper coming, but those cartoon Cobras before they actually had a dedicated Cobra Diver figure, and then the G.I. Joe and the gray and, bright yellow orange, had to have some of those. So they can swim down and fight the tube worms over the heavy water, which is needed for the mass device, as you all know.
I'm shocked that you got a Godzilla figure because you talk smack on Godzilla and Godzilla action figures every week.
I don't talk smack on them. I say that they're great, but they're just all underscaled. They're all tiny. And do I want a bunch of like little tiny Godzilla monsters? No, I want big Godzilla monsters. And this one's a decent size.
Now, Sparrow, what's your read on Star Wars toys? We got a movie coming up. Should be.
No one cares. Right? Yeah, no one cares. They're all pretty much just sitting there. They just announced some exclusive of some like Imperial remnant warlord, and it's just like, oh, it's a fat guy in an Imperial outfit who has like a pig face, And when I say he has a pig face, I don't mean like he's a Gamorrean or an alien pig man. I mean he's just like a guy that looks like he's a pig.
You're not seeing a run on Grogu plushies or anything like that?
No, actually, my Target is loaded with like Mandalorian figures that come with Grogu, and they're just sitting there. It's a bad time for Star Wars toys.
They should have left him as Baby Yoda. Give him a name was a bad idea.
Yeah, the name sucks because it's like, oh, what it's Goo Goo, but like, oh, what do babies do? Well, they say goo and they grow. Oh, Grogu, it just feels like really like unoriginal. And they should have just let him be off with Luke. The season 2 finale with Luke Skywalker and him going off to train as a Jedi was perfect. You didn't need to do anything more than that. But Book of Boba Fett, they had to put him back with Mando in the stupidest way possible so that we could get.
You had to do that, Aaron, because everyone knows that everybody training with Luke that isn't one of the Knights of Red is going to be murdered.
No, you leave it open ended and you start to just pretend that sequels don't exist. And you just start telling
you're like, oh my goodness, they killed Baby Yoda.
And at that point, good, because he would have been what? He would have been 100 by then, so he would have been a toddler. I mean, this when you think of Yoda and the fact that like he lived to almost 900 years, but like what 200 of those he was like a baby, because this kid is like 55 and he still can't figure out buttons, except for the times when he does something miraculous with the Force. It's I don't know how to tell you guys this, but Grogu is retard coded. You want to talk about the Ultraman? It's Grogu that's retard coded.
Dylan, did you get to see the Mandalorian trailer? Are you coming around on this movie?
I'm not coming around on it. It looks bad. It does not look like a good movie. And it's amazing how it looks just like the show and not an upgrade at all. Because generally when you get TV movies, when they do a theatrical release, you can see the budget. You can see, oh, it's a big upgrade. This movie looks the exact same as the show.
I feel like that's actually, I don't know, maybe I'm a weirdo, but I've always thought that kind of, yes, I am a weirdo, but I've always thought that part aspect of it, like where it suddenly looks a lot better quality, kind of steals some of the, like, I want to see a movie version of this. Like, I want to see a movie of this. All right. And then they give it to me and I'm like, yeah, but now it looks like a movie and not like the TV show that I liked.
Yeah, part of the charm of the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was it was sort of a dusty Western kind of vibe. It was supposed to be sort of very grounded.
I think you mean the first episode, because it's not like that at all past the first episode. Season
Well,
2 especially has zero dusty Western vibe at all.
But the tone and the vibe of like this lone bounty hunter, it has a lot of.
It does have that for one singular episode.
It has a lot of similarity to kind of like the Clint Eastwood type of movies, where spaghetti western, that very kind of lone gunman that's mysterious. Now that kind of faded away pretty much.
As you got into how boring Pedro Pascal is, and how boring his performance is.
And the most,
I don't think his performance at all is the problem with that show.
Oh no, I think it's the problem.
But it's also the egregious mishandling of characters. Like Cad Bane's introduction into the show was, in my opinion, was perfect. That's exactly how you want to introduce a character like Cad Bane. And then they just threw him away with like this cheapest, lamest death you could possibly. It was such a waste.
Also,
that was Boba Fett, though.
Disney believing that no one can root for someone that's anything but a good guy with a heart of gold is a big mistake. That's why you can't do like the gunslinger that operates in the gray. They instantly have to be like, actually, he's a great guy.
Yeah.
Did Disney invent Han Solo?
Well, no, but I mean, he's in their universe.
And they turned him into the guy with
the
guy with the heart of gold for the one movie he was.
He was a deadbeat
Solo. No, for the Solo movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't watch Solo.
They turned him into that, and then even then, when they brought him back, he was just, I recognize my failings as a dad. Please kill me.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
I mean, if you had a point, I mean, that's a bigger problem within, I think, Disney in general, and maybe even Hollywood in general, is the writers just don't know how to write people that are like people.
What are you talking about, Gabe? Some of us exist just to confirm the main character. Just to say, I like that.
Exactly. That's exactly the point. That's exactly the point. They use people as objects to perform tasks, but they don't write people with personalities that you can understand, that you can believe, that you can relate to. That was a huge problem with most of the Mandalorian series. Is once you got past the cutesy wootsy Grogu baby with the hard as nails bounty hunter, the Mandalorian bounty hunter, everybody was there just to serve some sort of functional purpose, but you didn't have characters you could get into. That changed a little bit.
Service the plot. That's it.
Yeah, that changed a little bit when you had Bill Burr, who I was completely surprised by in how well he did in that series, and also Cara Dune. But once you got past, and we all know how that turned out, but once you got past that, it was just like, person here is bad, they do bad thing, then they either die or they run away to come back later. There's just no personality to anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. That scene with Bill Burr sitting at the table with the Imperial officer is still like the highlight of the show.
I like that scene a lot.
Good. Yeah,
that was a really good scene. And then you get to season 3. Millennials on Vespas. Who doesn't want that?
That's Boba Fett. I guess you could. You can.
It's all the same thing. It's all.
It is because it does. Boba Fett is a slop hose that just like all of a sudden starts spitting out the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
What else going on there, Dylan? Did you get to see the Clayface trailer?
Yeah, I saw the Clayface trailer.
Thoughts?
Looked interesting. I thought it was a good trailer. It's just it's one of those confusing things where it's like, why is this coming out so early in the DCU? Like, I don't get that. But if you can separate yourself from that, I thought the trailer was good. I like the Batman the Animated Series episode.
No, that's really what it's operating off of, is the goodwill of the Batman Animated Series episode.
Yeah, but is that a bad thing?
Well, yes, because it kind of needs to be a movie that stands on its own.
No, but you need good source material.
I think it can be good. It's just like in the order of operations. Like, why now? Why is this happening? Like, I think it'll be good. It's just so bizarre because
it's repeating the Sony mistake with Spider-Man villains.
But the things with Sony, I get it because that's all Sony has, and they've got to keep making them. They want to keep the rights, and they want to like make some money. So it's like, all right, I get that. But with WB, like they don't have to do this. Like, this isn't something they need to do. But at least they did get like some people to actually make the movie compared to Sony, where it's just like people in a room where it's like, we got 75 people to make this one movie instead of like just one dude with a vision. So at least WB did that because they got Flanagan to do it. So at least they did that.
Do you think
So
Flanagan
there's a-
brought in his good friend Chris Stuckman to help with the script?
Oh, yeah.
No.
I hope he did.
Till that Zod snap Nick.
So Dylan,
Genius.
you are the real comic book gamer. So you like gaming and comic books. There's a big to-do about a game with a Android girl. What is going on with this? What is it?
Pragmata.
I know the game you're talking about. but
Pragmata, yes.
I have not played it. Yeah.
Why not?
Because it just didn't interest me.
You don't like video games?
Like video games, not that video game.
He doesn't want to be a dad.
Yeah. Good.
What?
Next game I'm waiting for is James Bond next month. That's what I'm waiting for.
Like a revamp of GoldenEye?
No, completely different.
Wow.
Dylan wants to kill things in games, not save them.
I think in Pragmata you kill things to save the robot girl. But I don't know. I've only seen like some screenshots.
It's a rescue and protect mission,
Mhm.
basically. And the big to do there is basically that people are saying, well, when you have this grown man who's an adult and he's protecting this young girl, even though I think technically she's a robot,
Mhm.
that having a grown man with a little girl together is somehow, shall we say, improper.
Yeah,
and
they're
which is-
saying it's they're
which
saying
is very-
for Peter files.
It's very Reddit, it's very Blue Sky, it's very terminally online nonsense where people are
Those
like,
people that really like Peter from Family Guy.
I don't know why, but like I have to say it that way because if you guys have seen the IT Crowd, there's a point where Jen is dating a guy whose name is Peter File. and then at the end, like they're at the airport and they're like calling him over the intercom.
But funny enough, it's the same problem, right? People are complaining that you can't have this relationship between a man and a little girl because it's improper, which is basically the complaint of people who don't understand how humans work. They don't
Or
understand
how-
relationships. They
yeah,
don't understand
or how-
personalities.
One of the
um,
most like well-regarded story games is The Last of Us, and that's what that is.
Well,
Yeah,
if the
I
little
don't get why
Android
people
girl,
are having a problem with that now.
because the
Or
little
even the
Android girl in
professional.
Pragmata is not a
great
lesbian,
movie.
Dylan.
Also,
That's
also
the
the
people
little,
the people that are complaining
True.
care about that more than
True.
also the little android girl in Pragmata doesn't look like a walking potato.
Well, in the game, Ellie doesn't look like a walking potato.
Yeah.
But no, everybody liked The Professional. Very similar movie, except for the
Yeah.
girl's real.
Except for the fact that actually was kind of.
We're talking about Leon the Professional. Yeah, if you watch
A little
the
bit of weirdness
Great
there.
movie.
the French cut of that movie, the director cut of that movie, it's
Luke
Watch
I'm,
it.
I'm unaware of
Ooh.
it. Is it?
You
Does it
haven't
lead into that
watched it?
stuff?
Yeah, because when I first watched it, because the director was always like, yeah, I thought Americans were too dumb, blah, 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 so I did this cut. And then you watch it's like, oh, the pedo cut is the like the director's cut.
Because
Yeah,
it was
we
a-
were-
the American
we were
cut, when she
too
says
dumb.
he's my boyfriend, that was enough for me. I was like, ugh.
Yeah, there's more. There's more in the
Oh, never mind. We're not going to use The Professional as an example.
yeah,
Yeah,
They are a
no.
bad example, like maybe the worst you could have chosen.
It's fine. That's why
I
the
haven't seen the
French are a
French cut.
conquered people.
But The Professional American cut, pretty good. Although there are a couple vibes in there that aren't pleasant. But you can't. So men aren't even allowed to save little androids anymore without being creeps.
Correct.
No, at least according to the weirdos on the internet.
My goodness. So have you
I got
guys
into-
noticed? I'm
I
sorry.
got into the industry by writing a story where, a warrior is protecting a little girl. So, like, it's really
It's so
it's
cheap
really
pops. It's
depressing to
easy.
see. Yeah, and really what it comes down to is they're just mad that it is a game with some traditional masculinity that doesn't have a bunch of the message packed into it. That's really what they're mad about. So that's why they're going after the game this way. But fortunately, nobody listens to anybody on Blue Sky. We just point and laugh.
And without jumping
That's-
ahead, one of the picks of the week is going to have a similar relationship setup for me anyway. So don't want to spoil it, but stay tuned for that.
Very nice. Did anybody notice there's someone missing today?
Sully.
It's on a vacation far away.
Sully is out. He went to a B&B. Apparently, he's, having some fun with the girlfriend, probably getting a back rub right now, talking about how much cooler he is than the rest of us while he's watching the comics aficionados.
I think he's getting a rub and tug.
Well, he's actually got a girlfriend, and she might be watching, so I wouldn't say that in the doc. There's actually a pretty decent chance of it.
100%.
Wait. There's a pretty decent chance that his girlfriend is watching, or there's a pretty decent chance that he's getting a rub and tug.
Both.
Pretty decent chance that they're watching the show together, eating breakfast. Maybe his nieces and nephews are there because he did say he was making breakfast for the kids. So.
You got to define your terms, Wes. You have to define your terms.
Oh yes, I was the one that was out of line here. It was Doc wasn't the
I'm
problem.
just saying when you
I am
piggyback
never the problem.
Jeez. This isn't like the time the five knuckle thing. That was not a problem here. It was not a phrasing thing. But geez, Doc.
Definitely phrasing.
He's probably getting a back rub right now, enjoying the aficionados, having some breakfast. Do you see where he went to dinner last night, Doc?
I saw you went to an Irish pub.
Leaves Boston to go on vacation, goes to an Irish pub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Well, no, because you get all the best parts of Boston without the worst parts. Bostonian.
which is Boston.
Sully is the worst part.
You can go to an
man.
Irish pub somewhere else and not get into a fight in the parking lot.
Yeah, you get all the best parts, which is all the cool stuff, and then you don't get the worst, which are the people that live there.
I will freely admit I've been to Boston one time, and the worst part were all the people around me.
Yes, I've been to Boston twice, and the exact same thing. Loved the city, loved everything about the architecture, the history,
Love
everything.
the history, yeah.
Hated the people.
Like,
I went there
wow,
twice
this is
and
like
got into 4 fights.
the oldest, continuously running restaurant in America. They got the best clam chowder in the world. Is like, but these goddamn people are here, aren't they?
Yes. Like,
But you know what's really strange is I've been to Ireland, Dublin, just kind of all in the outskirts. The chillest, nicest people you could ever meet in your entire life. You go to Boston's completely different. Completely different.
Were you in Dublin?
Yeah, they were all the people that everybody kicked out of Ireland.
No, Gabe, were you in Dublin?
I've been to Dublin, yeah.
I didn't find those Irish folks chill. I found the ones in Cork to be very chill and very relaxing. That's where I like going.
Yeah, I didn't have a problem, and I was all in and out and around the outskirts of the hills and all that kind of good stuff. I didn't have a problem at all. Best breakfast food I've ever tasted in my life.
You ate the black pudding?
I didn't have the black pudding.
Well, then you didn't have an Irish breakfast.
He had a Guinness.
I did have that
Yeah.
in a pub with them doing the little jig dances for entertainment for the people. Yeah, lots of
So
fun.
Irish breakfast is what? Baked beans, fried
And
tomatoes.
a Guinness.
No, that's an
That's
English
British.
breakfast.
Oh, can we
That's
get
an-
the beer
that's an
thing?
English. That's an English breakfast.
Which one was the Irish one? That one's got black pudding, right?
Not
A Guinness,
necessarily.
a
no.
black eye. And,
It was mostly like eggs, potatoes, bacon and more like Canadian bacon type of ham. Yeah, it's
With a piece
delicious.
of fat on it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's delicious.
I stay away from the puddings that they try to give you because it's like blood clots and shit.
Yeah, I
I
stick
stick
That's
to
what
fish and
happened.
chips.
That's what happened to Jim.
Exactly.
Yeah, you
were
eat
following.
coffee with some black pudding.
I've been to London too. That's a completely different story. Right. That's a different story if you go to London.
I thought London was a great city, but I haven't been there in
Yeah.
a long time. But my favorite city
Food's not
just
great. Food's
in the
not great.
UK, I guess, was Edinburgh. Was the best.
That's pretty nice.
But then my
Well,
favorite
Greece-
European city in general is Rome, just because of the history and the architecture.
Well,
I really like Paris. Paris was
Okay,
nice.
I don't like
reason-
dog shit.
The reason why the food is the worst in England is because they went around the entire fucking planet trading for spices and never once thought to put it on any of their fucking food.
It's true.
You'd like some spotted dick, Doc.
No, I don't want any kind of dick. Thank you.
Why do
It is like
they
that.
name their things so terribly too? Like nothing sounds appetizing. Yeah,
You
you
wouldn't
want
wanna
to
take
call it
it
a dick.
hiding.
Now I gotta look it up.
Bangers and mash.
Origin of spotted dick.
You could
I
get it
wouldn't
at
look
Cost
that up,
Plus
Dave.
World Market. They would have
That's-
that. Yeah, make sure that you're safe.
The
search
origin
is
of
on.
spotted dick is probably the same as the origin of herpes. You
No,
know,
it's like a
Put-
cake.
it's what happens when you fuck hookers too much.
No, it's a fucking cake. For real.
Yeah,
Why
spotted
do you-
refers to the fruit, like oranges, like raisins and the kind of thing. And the
It's
dick
not
is
the
derived-
spotted part of the description that people that were
Yeah.
having a problem
Well, he's
with.
explaining it.
The dick part is derived from the 19th century dialect terms for pudding or dough, such as puddick or dough.
There you go.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
You guys aren't cultured enough
Yeah,
to appreciate.
yeah, that's the problem.
Fine, I am
We just-
uncultured swine. It's all,
We just
Absolutely.
aren't,
I'm
we just
willing-
aren't cultured enough to understand why they enjoy things named after cock.
I have no idea. Let's hear it for the Paples. We got Callum. He wants to know, Gabe, would Doc enjoy the manhwa solo leveling?
Yes, if Doc actually would bother to attempt to read manga. I think he
Do they
would.
have all stupid names that I can't keep straight?
Yes,
Check.
absolutely yes.
All right. So can we rename them like Jim, Frank,
Tom.
Toby,
And they're all in black and white.
Sarah? Like if you rename all of, like if you give me a copy where everybody's name is crossed out and with like a real normal person name, I might actually dig it. Because I'm never going to be able to keep their fucking name straight. That's the problem.
You are your own worst enemy. You are
It's true.
separating yourself from good stories.
I can't keep their name straight. I'm just confused all the time. Like when look, it's like
It's not
like
hard
da-
to remember Deku. It's not hard to remember Naruto. It's not hard to remember Goku.
No. The problem
but
is
like,
it's
when
you
like
have seven of
dating.
them.
It's like dating in the early 2000s where every girl looked like an Abercrombie model, and you put 10 of them in a row, and you can't tell which one's your girlfriend because they all look the same.
The thing that I found inaccessible with like My Hero going in is that like they don't call him Deku all that much. They don't call it.
That's his
Yeah,
code
they have-
name.
Right.
That's
They
his
don't, yeah,
code
they
name.
don't call them by their code names. They call them by their full Japanese names, and it's like that's just hard to wrap your head around.
Okay. Man, there's somebody that's crazy in the
fair.
comments. They said Superman sucks.
What? Who?
But
The
Batman
movie,
songs?
the
I'm not
the
saying that
character,
name.
the-
I think
I'm
they're
not
just
saying that.
saying.
I'm not saying that ad name.
No, I think they're
Interesting,
just saying Superman sucks. That's crazy. No, Superman's amazing. Adam Frey, Jim's illness seems to parallel the Phillies' performance. You
True.
better get better fast.
It's true.
True.
They're having problems. I think it's like a 12-game losing streak right now.
Oh my god, what
The Mets
villain has
passed it
linked
off
your
to them.
health, Jim? What villain
Yes.
has linked your health to the performance of the Phillies?
Exactly. I still say it's still Marvel, and then I should never get better, but I avoided it. So, but yeah, the Phillies are having problems. Flyers are doing good though.
Shut up.
I hate them. Doc, I'm a Penguins fan, and it
All
sucks.
I'm so
and
pissed.
everybody gets mad at me. It was because when I was growing up, that's all you'd hear. The Flyers, and even then it's in the late 80s, and all you keep hearing about the Broad Street Bullies, so it would drive me nuts. But yeah, so I was a
I'm
Penguins
so
fan
angry.
when they Troy Loney was their best player before they ended up getting Lemieux, and so I'm not enjoying that either.
Yes.
Jack Live says you need to get that Wolverine hair, and I'm assuming this is a toy.
I don't know which Wolverine is being referred to, but I generally do pick up the Wolverine toys.
He can't be
I'm-
talking about Saudi Ahmed's Wolverine comic book because it's not good.
No,
He's talking
no one
about-
was.
He's talking about the GI Joe, the missile launcher vehicle.
Oh, the Wolverine that Doc 3D printed. Yeah, I know. I need to 3D print that, and because I've got my my custom cover girl all ready to go in there, so I do need to 3D print that.
Yeah.
Man. Matthew Ledbetter says Jim is the Wound Man from Batman Dark Patterns.
Nails and shit sticking out of me. I won't
Keep
even
it
go into
together.
the fact that I hated that story because everybody loves it, but it is very appropriate.
No, Jim,
feel
you're like Darth Sion from Old Republic. It's your spite and your hate that holds you together.
that is true. Or I'm like that.
No,
New
he's
Republic
George
rock.
Burns from The Simpsons, where he's so sick that he's perfectly in balance as all the viruses and bacteria fight each other inside of his body.
Warzone.
Ryan George has a
Oh.
bit
That's
where
not
it's
George
I was-
Burns. That's just Mr. Burns.
Mr. Burns.
George Burns was the comedian with
guy
the
with the-
cigar.
George Burns lasted a
Yes.
while though.
Yeah, no, he was. He
It was
smoked
his
like
bitter
15
anger
cigars a
at
day.
Montgomery
Racy.
Burns. Man. And then Caleb says SH Monster Art and Sugo have the best Godzilla toys.
This is fair, although the highest stuff looks really good too. But like I said, it's all too small for me. Like I want Godzilla to be massive. I want King Kong to be
You want
massive.
a Godzilla scaled Godzilla.
Yes, that's what I would like. I would
So
like to
you
have
want-
to go into my backyard to play with a Godzilla toy.
You want a
because that's where it
60-inch
lives.
fucking Godzilla to play with your 6-inch G.I. Joes.
That's too
Yes.
small, man.
Still too small. Can't be.
I
funny.
also need.
his
my
fucking
Transformers to
Rattler.
be- I need my Transformers to be in scale with my 6-inch action figures.
Hey, you know what? If I make myself a 3D printed USS flag, it needs to be like 40 foot long. Because I want an actual scale of an aircraft carrier, not scale of the original USS flag.
Can you
'Cause that
imagine how
was even
cool
too
it would
short.
be if you were like rich and eccentric and you could you could have a pool where one wall of the pool was like basically the USS flag. So you can just go and
Yes.
like put all your vehicles in there, but it's like right there by the water. You know, you can bring your Cobra hydrofoils in to fight, and oh man, good stuff.
Uh-huh.
The mailman's got a point. Calls you guys a bunch of size queens.
Yep.
And then Jack Live wants to know: are we going to discuss MJ as a murderer?
Yes.
She did murder somebody this week.
Yes.
Mhm.
But do we care?
Yeah.
This is like one of those philosophical questions. If you have a character who is the villain, but at no point did they ever give us any reason why we should care that they're even in the comic, if they don't actually even have the personality to be more than a walking two-legged plot device,
That's
because
what we got to talk about it.
Torment wasn't. He had no personality. There was no justification to why he was even doing what he was doing, other than I need to kill in a spiral. Do we even know your fucking name? No. We don't know anything about the dude just pops up. If that guy is killed, did you actually kill him? As in a comic book.
Yes.
You will know what Doc and I think on Tuesday, because we did have a review already. Unless you're on the Patreon channel memberships, because it'll be up tomorrow. The Web Slinger. Did anybody see the new Michael Jackson movie? I did not, because there's no movie theater here. If there's anybody on the panel that did see it, it is Jim, because he is a big Michael Jackson music fan. Jim, how was the film?
It was wonderful. I didn't see it. I didn't see it, but I saw a bunch of people saying that it was good. I'd probably go see that before that Mandalorian movie, if that means anything. Now, before, when Dylan mentioned it, the funny thing is, I saw the trailer, but I saw it like it was already going, and so I started looking up. Oh, when does this start streaming? And then, oh shit, it's a movie, and I'm like, yeah, that didn't look great. But yeah, that Michael Jackson's weird. I don't know why it seems too soon for a Michael Jackson movie, but it
Does.
still seems that to me.
It just reminds me that he's dead, and that still seems weird to me.
Yeah. I wonder
Dylan,
if they're
did you
gonna
go to
have.
the movie? You're the big movie aficionado, right?
No, I went and saw Fuse this week, which was really good, but I don't care about a Michael Jackson biopic at all. I will say, when I was at the theater last night, there's a lot of people there for the Michael Jackson movie.
I heard that that a lot of people. I hope that it ends up being like Shawshank Redemption when they show Diddy tunneling to Michael Jackson's mansion at one point to grab him, because that's what but I don't think that's in it.
This coming June, Michael Jackson will have been dead 17 years.
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh my
fucking
God.
Christ, I'm old.
Yeah, I'm
Too
very old.
soon, ball bag.
It doesn't feel like he died that long ago.
Dylan, what was Fuse? Who's in that movie? I've never heard of this.
I've never heard of it.
Theo James, Sam Worthington, Aaron Taylor Johnson. It's really good. There's like no marketing for it at all. It's just I'm always checking out what
There's
movies
no
are coming out.
stars either.
So it's what do you mean? Sam Worthington's in the biggest franchise that exists right now. What are you talking about?
And how many people could pick him out of a lineup, do you think?
But it's got like
That's so
low
weird.
level stars. Yeah, it's got no one like huge, but Aaron Taylor Johnson, Theo James, and Sam Worthington are like low level guys. But no, it's not huge. But it's good. It's like a heist thriller. Takes place in London, where they find like an old World War II bomb that's unexploded, so they have to go and evacuate that area. But then during that, a heist is going on at another part of town where it's evacuated now, and then a lot of stuff happens and unfolds. It's really cool seeing it all play out, and I was surprised how good it was. I really liked it.
Seems like a movie that I like. I like heists.
It was really good. I knew basically nothing about it going into it, and that's the best way to go into it. But it was good. I liked it.
The old lady made you go?
No.
Oh, you just wanted to go.
That doesn't sound like. I mean, that doesn't sound like a
Yeah,
movie that a woman would be dragging you to.
No.
He said he had never even heard of it. I was assuming the old lady dragged him to the fucking theater.
But he also
No.
said, if you listen to your guest, West, he said he's always checking out what the the less advertised movies are.
Oh, well, I don't listen.
Come on,
to
man.
Dylan. He's been a real ball bag lately.
Just because he's been roasting you week after week after week.
He roasts nobody but himself. Showing what
Wes
a not
has
nice
his
person he
walls.
is.
Wes has his walls up. He's just the hurt is too real.
Super Franda Man. Desperado started off well, but ended terribly. MJ's now a murderer. Flash loves her. Spiral's a nothing burger. Carnage defeated by Peter's virtue. I thought it started out bad because the first special thing was done by Jesus Saez, and I thought the art was terrible. But there were a couple of early issues with Ed McGuinness and Joe Kelly that were pretty good, that had it heading in the right direction. You did get the death of Paul, but outside of that, it was kind of all terrible, in my opinion. So the good stuff did happen early, besides the death of Paul. But yeah, MJ's a murderer. For some reason, Eddie Brock's in prison. And he didn't die when he unbonded with Carnage, which was what we were told, right, Gabe? That the reason Eddie Brock had a bond with Carnage because he'd die if he didn't, right?
Yeah, he was supposed to fall apart or bleed out or whatever the medical explanation for it was, and it didn't happen. He just sort of jumped from one to the other. This was probably the most nothing of nothing crossovers I've seen from Marvel in actually a few years, and that's saying something. There was just nothing. There's nothing to grab onto. The serial killer had a kind of cool look, but there was nothing behind it. It was just sort of,
Was he super powered? Was he a human?
No, he was just a serial killer with a weird,
How did the
kind
whips
of like
work
OCD fetish
independently?
for interconnections between his target and the people around the target. So you're supposed to circle it like a bullseye, basically. It was just he basically has OCD of some kind of weird OCD tick, and he has this weird spiky whip, which is not okay, it looks cool, but there's nothing to it. He has no powers. There's nothing special about him.
Yeah,
If
but
you
at one
stack him up-
point he wasn't connected to Carnage, but he had these tentacles go out and stab Spider-Man.
as far as I can tell, he had no powers whatsoever. It was either something that he built into his suit or some kind of ability he got from connecting with the symbiote. That was it. There's nothing special about him in any way whatsoever, other than he had this weird tick about killing the people around the person so you could circle and eventually kill them. That was his.
I didn't read this, and why would I? But just the way that you initially described it, Gabe, I was like, oh, there's something that I could do with that. As a writer, there's something there that I could actually work with. And then the more you went on, I just kind of came around to the idea that do you think that there is a point? And this is just for everybody. Do you think there's a point where these characters are so broken and there's been so many bad stories told with them that it just doesn't matter what you do with them from this point forward, because who cares? Because they're connected to more bad than good.
Yeah, it's just a novel way of a serial killer torturing the target by killing the people around the target before you kill the target. And he's doing it because of voices. That's all it is. There's nothing else beyond that. So if you stack that up against every other Spider-Man villain you could have imagined who have killed people to hurt the hero, it's no different. It's just a kind of a novel way of approaching the psychology of why he was doing it in the first place. So
yeah, because you've got villains that do that already, like Bullseye has killed people close to Daredevil. Of course,
it's just a different explanation of why he's doing it that way. But outside of that, it's no different than any more interesting and more already established characters who are villains.
Yeah, you'd have to actually build it slowly, like a mystery. Like what is the connection between these people? But that's hard to do when you're working with a continuity that's been around forever, and we know what the connections are with all these people.
Yeah, the super chat says it's Spiral. The character's name is actually Torment. So he's tormenting his victim before he actually kills his victim, and he's doing it because of voices in his head. So I guess it's a novel.
It's Randy Orton. Randy Orton's the villain.
Sure, exactly right. So
hold up. There's more to this. Super Fredo Man also says Eddie's now in prison until Queen in Black. Why? And Eddie should have been Carnage longer, like Dexter. That was kind of the only interesting thing about the Carnage Eddie Brock thing was the Dexter aspect where they were going around and killing serial killers. But it ended up being kind of nothing.
And this is again
was something.
Yeah, this is going back to Marvel's way of doing business now, which is the series, whether it's Spider-Man, whether it's Venom, whether it's whatever it is, they are all now morphing in support of the event, whatever the event happens to be. So everybody's like changing, and most of the time that morphing is bad. It's not good. So they're like, why did you put Eddie over there? Well, you have to put him out of the way for Queen in Black. Does anybody care about Queen in Black? No. Nobody cares about Queen in Black. I'm not seeing any buzz, no hype. I'm seeing less hype and interest for Queen in Black than I am for Armageddon, which is supposed to be the big thing that shakes up the Marvel universe and changes everything. But there's zero buzz about Queen in Black, but yet they're changing what happens to the characters and the ongoing titles in support of an event that nobody cares about. And Marvel's just getting progressively worse as each year goes by, and they repeat that cycle. It's just getting worse and worse and worse. Now, is how much of that is related to David Gabriel, who is now on his way out the door, because apparently he supposedly had more of a hand in the creative decisions of the planning for the year or 18 months in advance. I don't know. So maybe with his departure that changes, but we'll see. But right now it's just a question of changing the existing characters and existing titles to support an event that nobody is even remotely interested in.
Are there any Spider-Man events anymore that aren't about the symbiotes in some way?
I don't know.
Federico de la Casa saying that saving a little girl in Pragmata is PDF are the same people that in comics don't know what a hero is and roots for the villains.
Well, it's the same people. It's the same type of people that say like, oh, this 30-year-old guy is dating this 19-year-old girl. He's a PDF. And it's like, at what point that's a grown adult woman, does she have agency or does she not? Can she make her own decisions? You can argue whether or not you find it creepy. That's fine. But
I don't think there's anything creepy about a grown man protecting a child, whether it be a boy or a girl.
No, but it's the same it's the same people. It's just the same mentality. But these people are support every kind of degeneracy otherwise.
I would say
the concept of a gritty loner protecting a small child, boy or girl, is a trope that's gone back ages. Forever. So the people who are now saying, well, it's problematic now are just mentally deficient.
Yeah. Bunch of weirdos. Why did we let the weirdos get in charge? Because we didn't gatekeep hard enough. That's the problem. You came in here, Dylan. You said you guys shouldn't be gatekeeping. That's wrong. We should have been gatekeeping harder.
I never said that. I said we should have gatekept you, dude. You just started reading comics like 2 years ago.
That's not true.
No, I heard it. I heard it from a failing YouTube chick.
Yeah.
It must be true.
2 years
Kept this casual out, dude.
That's right. Freaking tourist.
Oh, you guys are all turning on me. I don't understand. Why are you?
No,
we were agreeing with you, son. We should have gatekept. We're all agreeing with you.
Should have kept me out of here. HH, the family over to Sigma Comics. Shout out to the Think Critical team. El Paso Comic Con next weekend with Mike Barron. Come on down. Calico Unwanted Men hits Kickstarter May 1st. Our main man Wes will give you details next Saturday. Check the chat. Absolutely. He will be sponsoring the channel next Saturday. Super excited for that. And sounds like HH is having a well-deserved off weekend before he gets ready to meet up with Mike Barron down in El Paso. Fantastic.
Yeah, HH, just in regards to the message you sent me about that, let's get on the phone sooner rather than later about that.
It was very, very cryptic, Aaron.
Well, yeah. It's got to be cryptic until there's an announcement.
Can you read the entire email in full so I understand what's happening?
You want me to? Oh, yeah. Well, it wasn't an email. It was Facebook, which is why it took me so long to see it. Facebook is the worst place to reach me. But yeah.
Man, Facebook used to be a thing. It's awful now.
It's
the worst social media platform. Probably worse than Blue Sky.
I just use Messenger. I can't even go look at like. Ugh.
Spare Room Collections. Hope y'all are having a great day talking comics. Question: what Ben 10 alien do you want in a HQ figure? 4 arms for me. Have him fight Goro. All right, Dylan, you are the Ben 10 guy. Which alien would you like in action figure form?
4 arms would be cool. I'd be man, Heat Blaster Diamond Head would be my choice. I always like those two a lot.
I thought his name was Heat Blaster Diamond Head. I was like, that's a pretty badass name.
that'll be the name that Wes gives one of the
we have another boy. His name's going to be Heat Blaster Diamond Head.
Amazing name for.
Now you got it.
Those are good choices. I'd probably, for me, I'd like a Wild Mutt figure. Wild Mutt would be kind of cool. I like the guy that's. I can't remember a lot of the alien names because it's been a while since I didn't really like watch a lot of the show, but I was familiar with like a lot of the toys, but I can't remember a lot of their names. Who's the alien that's like the vines?
Oh yeah, it's Wildvine.
Wildvine. I probably could have guessed that.
Jesus, Aaron, you're embarrassing yourself.
That'd be a cool one. I was like, surely Wild Mutt. In my head, I was like, is it Wildvine? But then I was like, no, there's already Wild Mutt. I must be conflating. But no, he's also wild. Is that it? Is it Dylan? Is it all the aliens sitting around and they're like doing the scene from Hot Rod where they're like, I also like to put. I'm also pretty wild. We can't all be wild, guys.
Well, it was a 10-year-old boy making the name, so
yeah,
it makes sense. So he's like Wild Mutt and Wild Vine. And...
Lucky more characters didn't have like fart or butt in the name.
True. Man, my 10 and 4-year-old are absolutely in love with Ben 10, and they keep watching I think it's 4 or 5 seasons over and over again.
It's really
They've
good.
tried to watch some of the other stuff and they don't like it. They keep going back to the original.
I'm the exact same. I didn't like the other stuff. I only watched the original. I tried to watch some of the sequel shows. Couldn't get into it.
Are there good Ben 10 action figures there?
There were. It's been a while. I mean, they weren't the best. They were like, kind of small. I mean, they were good for little kids.
They weren't like Playmates or anything, right?
They were small. Yeah, there's never been like a really good high-end version of the characters, which I think is a mistake. I think that if like Jada Toys or somebody like that got the license, they could. If I worked at Jada Toys, I would be going after that license. Let's just put it that way.
Super 7 needs it, dude.
No, God, no. They'd all be $65
articulation.
And they'd call them ultimates, but they would never give them double elbow or knee articulation, and they'd be $65 and just out of the reach of most kids.
Jag Live says, so neither Queen in Black or Armageddon have a ton of tie-ins. Is Marvel altering its event strategy by not doing as many tie-ins? Could this stick?
Possibly. I mean, they haven't announced the tie-ins yet.
They announced the beginning of the events that happen in June. The July solicitations have come out, so you would start seeing the tie-ins. I haven't got to look at Marvel solicitations yet. I'll be doing that next Friday. So I'll have to take Jag Live's word for it. But they should be altering it because the tie-ins were not working.
Well, whether or not they work is kind of irrelevant to the fact that was the only trick that they had in their arsenal.
Yeah, but he's saying that they're not out there now.
Yeah, they're currently not, which is it is surprising. Whether it's
you're getting the series and you get tie-ins to Captain America, I guess.
Yeah, whether if this is an actual shift in strategy remains to be seen. I think we don't have enough data yet.
But it is weird that they're running 2 events literally at the exact same time. Like they kick off the same month.
Or maybe that's their way around doing all the tie-ins.
Maybe. Are you excited for a pre and post Armageddon universe stock?
Absolutely not.
No.
Because what I really, really, really wanted was more dollar store knockoffs of existing heroes, because that's what this event's about. Giving origin boxes to normal people to make more normal people have the exact same power set and name as existing characters. But sometimes when for the villains, they're going to give them new names, but they're still the exact same power sets as existing characters.
Tommy from World at War Comics. Good morning, aficionados.
Tommy.
I wonder, is he on the road or is he like in his den with his granddaughter watching the aficionados and then muting Doc when he gets out of line?
Going with option 2.
And I'm sure his
He's
adorable granddaughter is haphazardly grasping at his high-end collectibles as she does.
Oh, yeah. And then Jog Live says, Aaron, no, it's the Hot Toys Wolverine I showed you the other day.
Oh, so that would probably be the, well, is it you or Lane that sent me that? Like somebody sent me Weapon X. I can't remember if it was you or Lane because you both send me toy stuff. Or if you are Lane, I'm confused.
I believe Jack Live is Lane.
Okay, then yes, then you're one and the same. So it's like he sent me a Hot Toys Weapon X that looks really, really good, but the visor doesn't light up, which I feel is a mistake. And
well, if it's Hot Toys, it better light up.
It's a hot toy. Yeah, he's like, I am Lane. Oh my God! Revealed here on the aficionados, the secret identity.
His other name is Shenanigans.
It's so funny how I know everybody by like their. That's the way people introduce themselves to me when they come up to me at cons. They're like, "Hi, I'm like." He'd have to come up and be like, "Hi, I'm Jagron, Lane Kramer," and I'd be like, "Oh, good to meet you."
But you don't like Hot Toys, despite being an enormous action figure collection.
No, I love Hot Toys.
Big.
They take up a ton of room. You have to if you're gonna buy Hot Toys, you got to set up like really nice glass cases to display them. You know, I'm not a guy who just wants to buy them and then keep them in the box and just put them on a shelf. You know, that's not I don't buy things for that. So it's you just have to dedicate a lot of money and a lot of space to it. And I've already got so much money invested in other stuff and so much space taken up by it that I can't do it. I got to draw the line.
Daisuke Mamamoto. This is the only time Doc is incorrect. That is not right. Doc is incorrect a lot, but I do appreciate you pointing out that Doc is absolutely wrong here. Asking to reduce the manga with renames like Frank and Mike and Bob. Don't tell me Hollywood got to you too, Doc.
I've been reading X-Men for 40 years, and I still confuse, at least it takes me, I don't confuse them, but it takes me a moment for my brain to process Yukio, Mariko, and
God forbid Doc has to think every once in a while.
And Mariko. Yeah. And so my brain has to like just sit there and go, okay, which one's this? And I know all of them, but it's the names. My brain.
Mariko is the one that Wolverine's banging.
Yes,
or was banging. Yukio is like the little sword girl.
And what the fuck's Lady Deathstrike's real name?
I don't know. She's a bad lady with the adamantium claws.
Yeah, I know, but she's.
Wasn't that Yuriko?
Yuriko.
Mm-hmm.
So you have Yukio and Yuriko. My brain processing them to keep them separate. I don't know.
And then I had a roommate named Yukio, so that made it even harder. And then there's Yu-Gi-Oh out there. That's another property. It's just the No,
Can you not handle it if there's a character named Stan and a character named Sam because it's too close?
No, because I grew up with that. But I have to retrain my brain. I understand what Doc is saying. Like it's.
I think this channel. I think this stream is getting dangerously close to being demonetized.
I also think Doc's saying that he doesn't care about everybody else. He's just not going to read it because he doesn't understand. He doesn't want it to
yes,
change.
exactly.
Yeah, he's just
You
saying.
need to conform manga to Doc's reading comprehension level.
Me. Yes. If I pick up a Zatanna comic, that
that's
magic works
yes.
my brain, so I'm done. So I'm out. But the other thing though, they're saying the one. It is true in My Hero, like everybody does have about 3 names, and there's a lot of characters. So I think that Doc's on it. Well, I love it. That's great. It does get in, but even that, when you're reading something, you need a cheat sheet. You need cliff notes to be like, who the hell is it? You're going down the list like, it's got an issue.
Yeah, and code names are just really easy to pick up. So for the longest time, I was like, wait, is that, my friend had mentioned a character and I'd be like, wait, that's Red Riot? And he's like, yeah, but like what they call him, blah, blah, they use his real name. And I'm like, no, I get that, but it's just easier to, catalog their code names in my brain than it is a bunch of unfamiliar Japanese names.
Look, let's just call it what it is. Let's just call it what it is. Doc will not read manga until it has been properly colonized by the West and converted into a North American version of manga.
God damn,
I don't think Doc would be able to handle a Philip Kennedy Johnson book because he makes up a lot of names.
I can't handle it. I can't handle those.
The God aspect of Wolverine. What the fuck, man? How am I supposed to remember this?
That's an interesting question, though. If you took mangas and then you did Americanized versions of them, what would those look like? That's kind of like an interesting question to me. Like if they were like, hey, Aaron, we want you to do My Hero Academia, but we want you to do it Western comic book style.
Already did that. It's called
follow the story.
They stole it from there.
Yeah, but like follow the story. Like how would it be different? Like that's an interesting.
Well, I mean, that's what Avatar: The Last Airbender is effectively. That's what, to a certain degree, that's what Ben 10 is, right? That's a very similar kind of manga style story.
Ben 10 is a ripoff from Dial H for Hero. What are you talking about?
No, but the whole concept of you have this kid who's an underdog, and then he basically comes into, he receives some kind of power or capability, and then it's about leveling up and expanding the universe and increasing your circle of friends, and then you get to these sub bosses that eventually lead to a big boss. It's very manga structured that way.
I think it's funny that like we've taken the structure of what used to be Adventure Story that was used by everybody, but it's been so long since we've seen it in American media that it's just manga. It's like, the Japanese invented storytelling.
I was going to say the same thing. I'm
That's
like,
what
I know why manga wins.
Yeah, that's what most people don't get. People are like, manga does all these great things. It's like manga's just telling a traditional Western story structure. It's just using more Eastern coded characters, but the structure is exactly the same as a classic adventure story.
Well, when I started watching My Hero, because all my friends were recommending it, they're like, you'd really like it. And I started watching it. It took me like multiple episodes before I like stopped hating Deku. Because like at the beginning, I was like, God, he's so whiny and I hate his guts. How am I going to get into this? I hate this character so much. And then I was like, oh, he's going on an arc. I forgot. I've been reading American comics, modern American comics so long. I forgot what that is.
I wouldn't say Deku is whiny. I would say he's desperate. And desperate can get really obnoxious and on your nerves after a while. But he's desperate.
Yeah, but in America, you introduce Naomi. Superman and fucking Batman look at her with their jaw on the ground, be like, "Oh my God, she's fucking perfect."
Yeah,
and that's the
yeah, because so many, and I know this as an editor because it's still the way that I write. It's still the way that I encourage people to write. It's like I know that the character has to go on an arc. The character has to face trials and tribulations, and I knew that in like my work, but I had gotten so used to not seeing that in the modern comic book sphere. It's like every character that comes in is diverse and they're immediately perfect, and their arc is just that everybody else has to realize how perfect they were from the beginning, that I had forgotten what it was to read a story where someone has to actually work hard and level up.
Yeah. The question is Doc on a journey of self-awareness and self-exploration and becoming better, and eventually he'll start reading manga realizing that not everything's about him?
No.
No, everything's about Jim, apparently.
Yeah, everything's about
I hear it every day. Every day.
Jim, you could be like in the hospital with all kinds of tubes and stuff coming out of you, and you're like, "Hey, I don't want to. Can somebody change the channel?" And you'd hear, "Oh, it's all about you, isn't it?"
Here we go again.
Jim's like Christmas, couldn't you?
Aaron will walk in and go, "I don't like Jim. He's too whiny." And walk away.
The only person who can write Jim's life story is Uzumaki.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I ended up sending a deal when Wes said, "Do you want to, be on the aficionados?" And I said, "I hope people are ready for a tired, miserable Jim." And he goes, "Oh, everybody loves that." I'm like, "Yeah, not everybody. I know about a handful of people here that don't like it, but
everybody here loves that version of Jim.
Yeah, they don't have to live with me.
Mm-hmm.
They're not poison."
Can you imagine Jim just whining and pissing and moaning about almost dying all the time? It'd get old quick, Aaron.
Oh man, just talking about how his body hurts from the concrete wall that just collapsed.
I did get
on
some
him.
of that. Like every time I'd cough, it was this huff.
People rolling their eyes.
Yeah. Like, I'm sorry.
Listen, we understand you're sick, Jim. You don't have to remind us every 5 seconds, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if Jim was Raceland and Dragon.
Some of us are trying to vape.
Every time he
over
coughs blood into his little napkin, everybody's like rolling their eyes and going like, "Oh, here we go again, Jim making it about him."
here. Yeah, really looking for the attention this week.
I did get in a fight with my wife at one point, and I got so mad, and I went and I fell down the stairs, and I still hear that was on purpose, that I was trying. I'm like, no, I fucking fell down the stairs and broke my nose. That wasn't on purpose.
You threw yourself down the stairs to make
That's
a
what
point,
she
huh?
said. It was because I forget there was something on the stairs, and when I went, I was still looking at her yelling, and one of the kids and I hit it, and then I flew down the stairs. And yeah, I was told that I did that. I was embellishing everything, and
Jim's trying to get attention again by
he's going for the LeBron.
Exactly.
You're just flopping left and right.
Next up, we've got Spare Room Collections. Check out the page if you got time. Also, I cover figures and comics on the road to 100 subscribers right now.
Oh,
That's awesome, Aaron. I think I found your new favorite YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, so it is the page called Spare Room Collections. I will check it out.
I'm assuming that it is.
All right,
but
I'm gonna leave the
action
stream right
figures
now.
and comic books. Fuck yeah! Oh no, we lost Aaron.
Yeah, you tell me that there's action figures I can go look at. I'm out of here.
Oh, Lane will be over there too. He's always talking about the action figures. So very cool. Yeah, definitely check that out. I will check it out a little bit later. Baja Cat. The glow of Paul's death and the fact that other characters teabagged him with shade and indifference on the way out still remains. Bravo, Marvel.
I love that they referred to it as teabagging him on the way out. Yeah, that's perfect, and he deserved no better.
Dylan was calling him a cuck to his face until the moment he died. It was brilliant.
Like, but Paul, if you die, who am I going to watch get embarrassed while she goes and fucks other dudes in front of you?
I'm ashamed of you. How on earth did you possibly think that Paul isn't going to come back from the dead?
Oh, we know.
I assumed Carnage would jump on Paul and he would turn into a serial killer, but that'd be too cool, I guess. But no, he's not going to stay dead.
The Queen in Black is going to come back, and she's going to need a king to rule by her side. Who better?
King Paul.
Man.
You know, the sad thing is that like we come up with some really dumb ideas on here, but they're not outside of the realm of possibility.
Yeah,
yeah.
They're not too dumb for Marvel dumb.
No, like Marvel's like, that's a great idea. Right now, Nick Lowe's in the chat, like just write this down.
He's making notes. He's taking notes from the channel.
I saw him. He had a post where he was wearing a Spider-Man costume or something with
the
Superman costume.
Yeah. He did not fill it out well.
No, he did not.
He's a comic book editor. What I expect.
It was a portrait of a man that has never lifted more than 40 pounds in his life.
I think he was trying to do like a parody because Jorge Jimenez, I guess, was in a Superman costume and he's like in good shape. So,
it certainly was. I mean, it was fitting that it was a Superman costume because it definitely was sexual kryptonite to any woman that saw it.
Yes. Jim, are you going to miss Paul? You didn't even get to see
No, I didn't even get to say goodbye to Paul.
No,
so upset. But
that's the real tragedy.
No, I won't miss him. I won't. But I think he'll come back as some sort of villain. But it still won't work because nobody cares.
The real Paul or the friends.
Maybe he's Captain Katsugi.
Oh God!
Mm-hmm.
No, he's Hellgate. He's Hellgate.
There's so many dangling plot threads for Joe Kelly to
I told you that. I said right away that this run was going to be bullshit. And some people were like, no, it'll be great. And I really like it now.
You can say that to Doc's face. He's the one that said
that. It's fine sometimes, but like if you look at it like as a whole, it is just utterly nonsensical.
No, I said that it'll be one of those people hated Zeb Wells so much. So, in a year or so, once Joe Kelly's gone, they'll just forget about this Joe Kelly run. It'll be like this little in-between thing that nobody can even talk about.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
And Calum says, Gabe, same question, but sell solo leveling to Doc.
I can't. That is a power that I do not possess. I can't sell any manga to Doc until he lets go of his preconceived notions. He's
got to be a manga out there with normal names.
He has walls around his heart of entertainment. And until he does that, he can't be free.
The thing about that, if he can't get into My Hero, then it's not happening because that's X-Men and that's it.
That's the most accessible superhero adjacent type of title. And if he can't get into
Chainsaw
MHA,
Man, he might like.
What if we show Doc the character of Momo first? Then do you think he could get into My Hero?
Maybe.
I like One Punch Man. Isn't name just One Punch Man?
Like that too.
Like I might actually get into One Punch Man, because his name is just One Punch Man.
Well, and he's just a bored version of Superman that's so tired of defeating people. He's looking for a bigger challenge, kind of like Battle Beast.
So
I keep getting that recommended. Yeah, I keep getting it recommended to me, One Punch Man, and it's like I just can't get past
zip through it.
His name and his look.
No, One Punch Man's good. Like,
it's sort of a satire. It's a comedy-ish type of title, because you have this guy who's so incredibly overpowered he doesn't know what to do with himself, and people are just sort of drawn to him. So in a way, he's like he's a Gary Stu in a sort of way, but at the same time, it sort of works because that's the joke. The joke is that he's a Gary Stu, and so everything kind of circles around that. It's fun. The more recent chapters are sort of like started to get into rinse and repeat territory, but the first several arcs are pretty darn entertaining if you allow yourself to kind of get lost in the humor of it.
I agree. I like that one, and the anime is really good too.
Yeah.
Kalichioki might be a dumb question. There are no dumb questions, sir. There are only dumb people asking questions
and dumb answers from us.
Did the MCU ultimately damage Marvel Comics?
No,
I don't think
no.
so.
Marvel Comics did that themselves.
Yeah.
There's never been any really real clear straight line evidence that the MCU had an impact on the comics in any way, positive or negative. They've just sort of been off on the side.
I believe that it did, and that it gave Marvel Comics a sense of worth that was so high that they thought they didn't have to write good stories anymore.
I mean, in terms of sales, like, getting people to read more comics.
I'm talking about culture and the way that they viewed fans and their place in the industry. I think they thought they were above everybody, and it didn't fucking matter anymore because they were the engine that drives the MCU, and they could do whatever they want. I think it actually didn't.
Which is sort of true, but all the most successful pieces from the MCU were from stories that were written 20 and 30 years ago.
Sure.
I think it's that some stupid people watched those movies and thought they could write comics and then got hired. That's how I think it got ruined.
Well, I would say that there's maybe certain plot aspects from that the MCU added that got, or mainstreamed that the comics then took. And it ended up being kind of like that multiplicity situation where it was the photocopy and the photocopy. So it was retarded now. And like the Nick Fury thing. Yeah, that hurts. It harmed the comics. But overall, I don't think the MCU ultimately did anything.
How about this one, Doc? They decided to go look at Facebook likes and whatever like that, and half as many women said that they like comic book characters because of the MCU as men did, and they decided that meant that half of the books need to be written for women.
Yeah, but I think that's more secondary or tertiary.
That's what I'm getting at.
Why do they think that writing comics for women means making the comics dumb?
Well, that's how they're
because
I
don't think women are.
Isn't that
they think women are retarded.
If you do this. If you do a survey that comes back and half of the people reading comics are women, like that's what you believe, that's the point where you go, all right, job well done.
Cool, we don't got to change anything.
Keep doing what we're doing.
Yes. Did you, what's those, the bondage movies that were books?
There's 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, have you ever read 50 Shades of Grey?
No.
Maybe women aren't stupid.
I've read excerpts and they're terrible.
Yeah,
but those aren't the type of women that were into comics. It's just like, trying to make Star Wars. Oh, let's make it appeal to women, by dumbing it down. Well, why are you going after this dumb market that doesn't like the stuff that you like anyway? They just want a bunch of romantic-y slop. because their own lives are boring, their own sex lives are boring. It's like,
Right, but let's get
they wanna
specific
read
about where that came from, right? That was a real stat. And where did that come from? Graphics policy, yeah, went off and they just pulled a bunch of Facebook demographic data back in about 2014, and all it said was, "Are you interested in comics?" Not
Mhm.
Marvel, not MCU, not DC, not any of that. It's just, are you interested, or do you as
It didn't say, are you interested in buying comics?
or no, it didn't even say that. It just said interested in comics. It's like one of those check boxes you check
When the MCU is at its highest point.
yeah, when you sign up for Facebook and ask you to like check off your interests.
All your likes.
Yeah, like, just something that you might be interested in. That's it.
I like science.
Exactly. It didn't specify a publisher. It didn't specify characters. It didn't specify manga versus West. It was just like, are you interested in comics as a general topic or category? And somehow you have the graphics policy guy whose name I can't remember, and Heidi
Brett something.
Yeah, and then Heidi from Comics Beat, they put it together in a big presentation at I think it was Baltimore Comic Con, and they said they informed everybody. See, 50% of women like comics, so you better start changing your ways. And it was all down
because that was the kind of catch-22 of the situation, where Marvel and DC knew what their actual demographic split was.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, if 50% of women like comics, we know we're only getting 5% of our sales from women. So we have to change ours to get to that 50%. We have this huge uphill climb. They don't know that no one else has 50% either.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily, you can take that demographic. I mean, it's this horrible stat to key off of. Absolutely horrible. But even if you were to do that, the mistake they made wasn't necessarily saying we have to appeal to women. The mistake they made was, let's take these comics that already work, that appeal to boys and men, and let's change them to appeal to both men and women. Absolutely the wrong strategy. Absolutely never works.
Same strategy that killed Star Wars.
Yeah. You can't take an existing property that appeals to an existing audience and then change it to expand or appeal to a different audience. That was the fatal flaw. If they'd start making like romance comics or something like that, and something that would appeal to girls and women, that would be a completely different story. And that would probably be a valid approach. But that's not what they did. And that's where they made a big mistake.
But it's like if you... I'm sorry, go ahead, Doug.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, that's because the only purpose of that entire survey and that entire study was to justify what they wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
Well, it's like if I said, like, hey, Hallmark movies, they appeal mostly to women. How do we get, but we got this survey that said that men are interested in Hallmark movies because they like attractive actresses. Dylan, what we should do is we should just like get into Hallmark movies and we should make them all about action and tits. And that'll draw in the male audience and the women will stay. And it's probably not, because you're violating what the core audience is interested in.
It's just like saying for 25% of the Hallmark story, we need to have the lead female character in a bikini.
Yep.
Or we need dinosaurs and machine guns. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
How do we make this
space?
How do we make this more Roadhouse?
Yeah, exactly.
Next up, we've got Daisuke Babamoto. If you didn't know, Live, Die, Repeat with Tom Cruise. It's Cruise. I think Cruise is like Penelope.
He's thinking
Cruz.
Penelope Cruz.
Yes. Is an American interpretation adaptation of a manga.
Yeah, it is. Edge of Tomorrow was a the manga was named Live, Die, Repeat,
which is a better name.
That was actually the
original
the working title for it.
On most of the posters, it was bigger than the actual title too. It was crazy.
And then they ended up changing it for the release. But the international releases of it still have Live, Die, Repeat as the European release.
It's always the corpos that come in and go, hey, how do we make this more bland? How do we take Princess of Mars and make it more bland? We'll just call it John Carter, where it sounds like you might be seeing a movie about a guy that gets transported to Mars and has to have all these adventures, but you also might be seeing a drama about a custody battle.
Yeah,
or a dude that's leading an inner city basketball team to a
Mhm.
state
Yeah.
championship that you never expected.
Coach Carter.
Yes.
At least that tells me.
I think Edge of Tomorrow was a fucking badass movie. I never intended to see it. I was in Manila during Christmas. They do Manila or Metro Manila Film Festival, and it's all Pinoy films. And the only theater that wasn't playing a Filipino movie was like a special 4D theater, and they were playing Edge of Tomorrow. So we went and saw it, and it was amazing. I couldn't believe it.
It's great. You saw it in 4D though. How was that?
Yeah, it was like the chair was moving, and there was like air blowing, and then it squirted me in the face. I was like, "What is going on here?"
You got a facial during a
I
movie?
did, yes.
From Tom Cruise.
I got
I
blasted.
mean, the one time I hung out with Wes, I watched him get a facial, so that tracks.
that egg did get me. But that's a fucking good movie, dude. I was shocked how good it was.
Great. It's a great movie. They've talked about for a while doing a sequel to it, but I don't know if they're ever going to, especially because it was so long ago now. But it's a really good movie.
Hey, they're doing. They finally announced the World War Z sequel. I'm not kidding.
Yeah,
World War
well-
Z, another
Well,
great
they were
movie.
supposed to do a World War Z sequel, and Fincher was going to do it.
Yeah.
And then
But
that like sidelined, and now they're finally doing World War Z.
Isn't it Alex Garland?
I think
Is he
so.
doing it?
I believe so.
I
So
believe
it
it's
might even be better than Fincher.
Sounds pretty good.
There we go. Matthew Ledbetter. Have you all heard about Scott Snyder rising in DC leadership? Also, Jim Lee's diagnosis. So Doc and I do talk about the Jim Lee pre-diabetic stuff as well as what's going on with Adam Hughes. That video will be out on Monday, but if you're back of the channel, you'll get the podcast tomorrow. Now, as far as Scott Snyder rising DC leadership, he's like a consultant. Like, he's not a regular employee as far as I know. So he can't like officially be in the leadership, but he is has been brought in as a consultant, has been kind of mentoring a bunch of the creators at DC Comics. So that has been going on for months at this point.
Yeah, and talking to him, he wanted to do that after death metal. That's why he kind of left at one point, because they weren't treating him like what do they call the architect of things. But it seems like that absolute line is changing things for him.
Yeah, well, he didn't fucking fix Nightwing, dude. I can tell you that after talking to Dan Waters.
Yeah.
The book sucks. It's actually
Book's
worse
terrible.
than before.
Yeah.
I don't know, Dylan, is this the worst Nightwing we've ever had?
No.
Rick Grayson.
Oh, Rick Grayson. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Not even
Or
Dan
Ray
Jurgens could say
Grayson
that.
back in the day.
Grayson was off.
How would this possibly be the best Nightwing we've ever had when Chuck Dixon had a run on Nightwing with Scott McDaniel?
I
Yeah.
didn't say best. I said worst.
Oh, worst.
Yeah, it's really,
bad.
really, really bad.
It's bad.
There's like the stupid sniper story. There's a ghost woman. Nightwing is just
He gets
he's still-
exercise jumping to conclusions, though.
yes.
At least he got
Seductive
this.
reasoning is awful.
Does
They
he
are
still
good.
have a secret sister?
They
Yeah, but
sent
she
her away, right?
resigned
Yeah.
because she was the
Queen.
mayor.
We got it on.
She quit.
She's the queen pirate,
resigned from
blood.
sisterhood?
She's
No,
the
Bay the
That
Pirate
was
Queen
Nick
was
Queen
the
Pirate
Taylor, though.
bartender.
Me and Wes started liking that, I think. I kind of wish we had her back now.
What did-
Is there an
Jim,
original
don't
story
fucking
called-
besmirch my name with that BS. You know I don't like Gia the Pirate Princess.
Can we just
No,
do a
you
book
love
called
her.
Secret Sister, where it's just an organization of secret sisters that every hero has?
And they all just keep popping in
And they're not.
to the hero's life.
That sounds like a book you'd find on Image. That sounds
Yeah,
like an Image book.
I bet I could get that to be a Netflix series. I better pitch it to Image right away. OC, do not
Yeah.
steal.
But Scott Snyder's done some interviews over the last 6 months kind of talking about his new role, to where they don't want to cancel books prematurely. So one of his responsibilities is to go out to the creators, and if maybe the sales are struggling or people aren't connecting with the book, to kind of talk it through and say, hey, how can we get it back on track? Does it need a reset? The kind of thing. That's why I was bringing up the Nightwing thing, because it sounded like they did that. And that was supposed to be the reset. And it didn't work. But I think it's a good idea not to cancel stuff. And Scott going out there, and he's got good ideas that people like. He knows how to make things more exciting. So
Scott
I
can
think
go
it's
out there and
working.
go, how do we make this title a manga? And then it'll
actually,
work.
there's nothing wrong. You just talked about how people are associating good storytelling with manga nowadays that would have been associated with comic books back in the day.
Yeah, I mean it's a viable strategy. It's better than what we get.
I think most people don't understand that you associate good storytelling with good writers.
Yeah.
So if you cancel the story and keep the same writer, I think you haven't corrected the problem.
Most definitely. Sally Yakabe, what do y'all think about the new Titans team and the new female tech hero and young John Kent being back? Maybe. Why did DC drop Ghostmaker?
I absolutely hate the design. I hate those costumes. It is so manga try hard.
Yeah.
Trying to be Jujutsu Kaisen or something like that.
It's
I don't
New
know what it is.
Warriors. New Warriors by Kibblesmith is back.
I'll check
It's
it out
not-
because I like
it's not New
Kyle
Warriors
Higgins, but the designs are rough.
Yeah.
But I
It's
like
not-
Kyle Higgins, so that's the whole reason I'll check it out.
Yeah.
Give it a
it's
shot.
not-
Same with me.
And to be clear, I'm not complaining about the quality of how they're rendered or how good the artist is and kind of putting it together and making it, as heroic as possible. It's just the design. I can't stand it. It looks so try hard and it just doesn't work for me.
Now, speaking of a character who did have a good design but sucked in every other way, Ghostmaker.
Yeah, and Ghostmaker's gone too because it's a Tynan character. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that people just, you don't want to use the other guy's character. You're just using your own. But yeah, his design did suck. I did like him. I liked at one point where it seemed like him and Batman were bros, and they like go and work out and shit together. I thought it was funny. But
I
yeah,
liked Exile from the Josh Williamson, Damian.
I love
Wayne,
Exile.
Robin book.
that was my
He's
favorite.
part of the team, right? He's the kid with the coat.
Is he there with his hype man? I'll be in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
And I see the comment in the chat. Yeah, I agree that Red Hood should not be leading that team.
No.
That character's just been so misused, and this is just another misuse of that character. He needs to be the outsider. He needs to be like the dark edge that Batman won't be, and to kind of put him at the head of a team of teenagers like some fatherly figure just doesn't work.
No, he should be going around the countryside braining people with a goddamn crowbar, dealing with his issues. That's why he's fun. And Daisuke Mamamoto, should media appeal to normies or appeal to fans? World War Z is a prime example of fans hating it because it's a bastardization, but normies love it.
Fans
It's
first,
not,
normies
it's
second.
not a bastardization. It's a good film.
I mean, the book is like a series of letters, so it's like, how do you translate that?
It's like the
to-
oral history of the zombie apocalypse. Yeah.
Mhm.
Sexy.
Yeah, you can't adapt that movie, that book directly. You just can't.
You can only take inspiration from it.
Yes. And because you need one guy to be the hero, but all the things have to happen. So he has to basically go on a fucking worldwide adventure to do this.
You could do a World War Z TV show where every episode is somebody in a different region dealing with it.
That would be essentially the plot that they were going to do for Global Frequency.
Yeah, it would just be an
But-
anthology show rather
And it
than
just
an actual.
it doesn't work.
Yeah.
You'd get like one season on Netflix and that's it. No, they 100%. I think that you need to not piss off the fans. Like they need to appeal to fans, but you can't just cater to them exclusively. But look, if things that were good stories that comic book fans or video game fans or manga fans really love, if you put it into a different medium, normies are going to love it too. It's an issue of the medium, not the content, most of the time. So you adapt a really good comic book, the normies are going to love it. If you still let as long as the readers, the fans love it too, because they're just a reflection, a much smaller data set, willing to try a medium that normies aren't. That's really what it comes down to.
Jag Live. Don't forget, Babs just disappeared from Nightwing.
Mhm. That's the weirdest thing. Yeah.
She's going to prison, dude.
I think she's out walking that three-legged dog. It takes a while to walk a three-legged dog, in my mind. It's
I don't
always
know.
walking
Nightwing
circles
walked her
and
all
shit.
the way up the Himalayas in one fucking.
Yeah, that is
issue.
true.
Found
Put a
dead man.
dog
Remember
on
that?
her.
So weird.
So ridiculous.
Fucking Tom Taylor. His bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, but she's just disappeared. No mention of it. I brought it up talking about this week's Detective Comics. I'm like, there she is with Batman, but she's ditched Nightwing.
In defense of Tom Taylor, Wes, which I'm a big defender of Tom Taylor, it's canon.
It is
It
canon.
is true. I actually think that Babs isn't in that book because she would just slap Dick right in the face and tell him to snap out of it. I think that she'd be too smart.
I think it's the other way around. Dick
Maybe.
slaps her in the
Well, it
face.
might be that afterwards. That's how you make up. But I think that the story's so
Mushroom
dumb
print.
that her being there would throw it all off. She would just say, stop it. You didn't do this. This is that. And it's bad.
Dylan, who should Dick Grayson be with?
Oh, Starfire.
Most definitely.
100%.
Way
Both.
hotter, way
Why
cooler.
can't we have both?
No, he should do
Everywhere.
Minaj. Dick's too good for that.
Starfire would be up for it. It'd be Babs who would put the
Yeah. Plus, she's
the
boring.
kibosh. Yeah.
The best Babs story is already sitting in front of them. They just don't want to take it. Babs should kill the Joker. That would excommunicate her from the Bat family, and then just for lack of any place to go, she winds up partnering up with Red Hood with Jason.
Well, they had her fall in love with
she's
the
on
three
the outside
Jokers
as it-
book.
She could
That
become
sounds
Venom.
terrible.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm in favor
It
of
is not
killing the
in
Oh,
Joker.
Joker.
fantastic idea. That's a fantastic idea. The drama.
I'm
for
definitely in
days.
favor of killing the Joker. I could definitely do with
Yeah.
less Joker.
They
Yeah,
tried
but
to
the
do
three
some crazy
Jokers, they were
things.
hinting at Babs and Jason, like maybe
Yeah.
being interested in each other.
No,
and
but
was
it doesn't
bolted.
necessarily need to be a romance. It could be just they're partnering up because she has nowhere to go, and he's the only one who understands her predicament.
They're
of being an
nailing it.
outcast.
I think
story,
that
Dave.
I think the subtext.
It's a
Of,
little
They gotta be
late
knocking
for
boots,
this.
dude.
They're
I
gonna
think
be
the
nailing it.
subtext of Three
Are you a
Jokers
shipper?
is that Jason is into Babs, but it's basically just trauma bonding.
So are you
Yeah.
a shipper, Wes? Is that the problem? You're a shipper?
No, that's why I'm saying your idea is bad because they'd have to end up knocking boots. I don't want that.
They don't have to knock boots.
They don't have to.
She needs to be pining for Dick Grayson for the rest of her life while Dick Grayson is raising his real family with Starfire and he's happy.
She
It could
needs
be
to be
the
back in
end
the.
credits.
True.
She needs to be back in the wheelchair because it's the only time her character's been interesting.
Ableist.
Totally
So
rolling.
true.
How am I
Is that
ableist
a
when I am
crowbar in your
supporting?
pants?
I'm supporting the representation.
Sally Akime says, also, y'all will like Damon, the Shadow Realm. I haven't read that.
I have not either.
There we go.
You know what? I'll bet you could get into, Doc. I wish I still had. I wish I had extra copies. I would send you all of my volumes of the manhwa Rebirth that Tokyo Pop did. It had a good rewrite. Had a good rewrite from Tokyo Pop, and it was a kick-ass vampire and warrior story that I think you would like.
Okay.
But I
do
can't
not
send
hate
you my
that.
Your
original
word
volumes.
for it?
I can't send you my original volumes. I got to see if they're pirated somewhere.
I do not hate Batgirl. I just think she was more interesting as Oracle.
I hate Batgirl.
Yeah, that's because you're a hater, Doc.
I love
am.
Cassandra Cain, Batgirl. How about that?
So we were supposed to talk
Not the
about
current
who the
one.
best writers in 2026, and Aaron told me before the show that the topic sucked, and I couldn't be less interested
Oh,
in it.
no.
So we're
I
gonna
did
talk
tell
about
him that.
Spider-Man, Superman, which
Oh,
was
we're not.
surprisingly good.
We're just
Dude.
gonna say the same things. Like let's just do it really quick.
Uh,
Jeremy
No,
Adams,
I
Philip
challenge
Kennedy
you
Johnson,
to
Jim
think
Zub.
outside the box, and you're like,
I
no,
don't
I'm
read.
in my box.
I'm not reading outside of the box because you have
Tom
to be
King,
good to get me in there.
Teeny
Josh Williamson
Howard.
on GI Joe. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Jim is gonna say Tom Taylor,
Caitlin Yarsky.
Teeny Howard, Caitlin Yarsky, who Jim loves. Jim gets super excited
Love her.
anytime she comes up on a book.
Look, the only question that matters is, was the Marvel version better than the DC version?
That's
Yes.
the big question, Dylan. What did you think was better? Because I'm surprised, and I think it was the Marvel version.
Man, it's hard. It's that Jeff Johns Gary Frank one just gave like that just
Even the Dan
just
Slott
that
one.
alone. Yeah, the Dan
Yeah.
Slott one was good, but I'd say probably the Marvel one because while there was it still had some similar problems to the DC one, which was here's a story where you get like 3 pages. And it's like, all right, this accomplished nothing. We could have taken that out, and the others could have breathed more. It had that same issue with some of them, but I felt like to a lesser extent. I will say I did like the Mark Waid story better than the Meltzer story, mainly because the stuttering pissed me off. It annoyed me so much. Like, I get it. Everyone knows Kryptonite Week and Superman. How do you represent that? Well, we have an artist that can show us. We don't need Superman stuttering the entire time. That annoyed me. That was annoying.
Shaming him, Dylan.
That was. But other than that, I enjoyed the Meltzer story, but I like the Mark Waid one better. But that Jeff Johns Gary Frank one, oh my goodness, so good, so good. I love it.
It's weird. I see a lot of people hating it, and when they said that, I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, that was really good, and I don't know why. It's like there are people who were just like, oh, Jeff Johns lost it, and it's not good. I think they were going into it thinking it was going to be more DC because it's it's a Marvel book. I don't know. I had to shake my head because I thought that was really good.
No,
I thought this was pretty good in general.
This was the pep talk issue, right? Like at least half the short stories in there were Superman giving somebody a pep talk to kind of be better, do better, and everything else. And I think that in and of itself, surprisingly from Marvel, was basically a better portrayal of who Superman is as a character. It was almost a Superman centric anthology rather than a Spider-Man centric anthology, which is what you would have expected from a Marvel book. Of course, the two weakest ones were the Lana Lang and Gwen Stacy going to college.
Oh, was so stupid.
And the Ghost Spider Supergirl, I thought was pretty weak. That one was.
Yeah, I did like Supergirl showing up and instantly calling her a fraud, though. That was good.
That was bravo.
And of course, one of those is written by Stephanie Phillips. So I mean, what do you expect? But yeah, I mean, overall, I thought it was better, much better than the DC version. It was by a lot, significantly. So the people complaining about the Jeff Johns one with, what was that? That was Superman with the thing, right?
Yeah. It was good. At one point, I was reading it. At one point, I thought, this is a little hokey. By the end, I'm like, holy shit, I got some feels from this.
Exactly.
Really good.
Like, I had to change my whole deal. And I think that he set it up kind of hokey and cheesy to get to that. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I didn't think I was going to get feels from this.
Man, like, remember when comics used to make you feel something?
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, Jeff Johns treated the thing like a conscious or a smart Hulk, in the sense that he's trapped in this tragic condition, and the way he deals with that is just always being angry. I've got to punch everything because that's the only thing I have left. I have no meaning because I'm trapped in this condition. And Superman's like, dude,
yeah. And we've seen the Hulk.
You can do more. You can be more than that.
Changed it all.
Yeah,
just looking at him and talking.
But even the Slott and Bendis story I liked. Like, I was surprised that they actually did a good job with these. And I love seeing the Fleischer suit. That was great.
Yeah, that was good. That art was good in that too. It was really good.
Yeah, that was fun.
And it was funny because I think I noted in the review that Miles Morales and Superman was a better mentor-mentee relationship than Miles Morales with Peter Parker. The way it was portrayed there. Which is very... So it's almost like on the Marvel side of things, they treated every character better than they're getting with their existing Marvel
and Bendis
writers.
Did a good job. It wasn't that Superman said, oh my God, you are the best Spider-Man ever. At one point, he just says, I kind of think you're good. You didn't run away. Like, shit's going down and you didn't run away. So I trust you.
You got potential.
You're a hero. Yeah, you got potential. That was great. That was really good.
Yeah. Jim's been shitting on Marvel for 3 years straight. He finally liked the book.
Yeah.
All you got to do is bring in a DC.
Bring a bunch of DC writers. Brand Belzer.
That's all it takes. No,
I
really
Slott's not writing for Marvel anymore.
And his story was really good.
I liked that art was just amazing. It looked like it was straight out of the 50s.
I'm not trying to read too much into it, but I thought it was also kind of funny that Jeff Johns and the whole Ghost Machine crew would write for the Marvel version, but they wouldn't write for the DC version.
Yeah.
Maybe the DC guys didn't hire him. Fools.
Yep.
And again, people are asking, maybe with that whole thing with Ghost Machine and not allowing things, who knows how long this was like set up. And at one point he could just say, yeah, a couple of years they asked me if I'd do this. And I said, yes. So it's a commitment or whatever it was, but he's in charge. He can do what the hell he wants.
Yeah. I wish Ghost Machine crew had done the whole book. It would have been better.
Yeah.
Jeff Johns just write 5 stories with Brian Hitch and fucking Jason Fabok and
Tomasi writing a story. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wish they wrote 1776.
So, I don't know if these guys saw that like last week. Tomasi retweeted someone saying like Tomasi had such a great run on Superman until Bendis came in and ruined it. Tomasi just retweeted it.
Deservedly so. And not surprisingly, the Bendis story might have been the worst one, even worse than the Spider Girl.
Okay.
No,
I thought the Bendis one was good in this crossover. The
Lana
Lang one was bad. The Thor one was bad.
Yeah,
the
that's
lot of
mess.
was probably the worst.
Yeah, that was terrible.
And the Supergirl one wasn't very good either.
The Jeff Loeb 2-pager was pretty good.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
I don't really even remember it.
The last 2 pages.
Yeah, I'm like, it must have been
Yeah,
good.
I thought it was all right, but I actually surprisingly liked the Bendis one. That was good.
Well,
I'm just
Jeff
glad
Loeb
we
couldn't
live in
write
a
more than
world-
2 pages. He couldn't write more than 2 pages because he's got to save all his energy for writing the Hush 2 series.
No,
So
I
I'm
think
just
he's
glad
doing.
I'm just
What's
glad
up?
we live in a world where Bendis now has so little power in the industry that Tomasi is safe to retweet that.
Yep. And he can't, because every jabroni that he's brought into the industry is already out.
Field, are you the one that talked to Tomasi at a Comic-Con and asked him about his plans for Superman? And he had said he had like 2.5 years of story arc left to tell.
Yeah. I talked to him at Dallas Fan Expo, and he talked about how I can't remember how much more. I think he said he had like 5 years or something. He had a lot of stories, and then they brought Bendis in and shelved them. He also talked about how he had to fight for a lot of stuff in that book, like issue 7, which I think is the best issue of that. That's where they go to the carnival. He talked about how he had to fight for that issue because they thought because DC editorial was like, people won't like it. There's not enough action. There's not enough going on. You need to add more to it. And
Whereas Marvel would have said, "There's too much action. You need to strip it out. We need more characters sitting
More
and talking
eating.
about."
Yeah. Could they sit around and get a funnel cake? Perhaps that would be the highlight of the book. I love the idea of Superman promising Lois that no, tonight's family night, but then something comes up and he's having to like on the down low save the world, but also do the carnival with the wife and kids. Great.
It was really good.
I think they end up going on like a cross country adventure and seeing like Mount Rushmore and stuff.
Yeah. They do a little 2-issue arc where they go around because they want to show John.
Yeah.
We can't have that. Superman's got to hate America, dude.
Yeah. It's kind of what it's become. That's what I liked so much about the Jeff Johns was everybody, wants to ship Superman to their like ideology. Like, no, Superman would totally be for this. He's like, I'm not on anybody's side, but let's talk to everybody.
Yeah.
That was basically the message of it. I thought it started out poor, and then he nailed it. It crescendoed into this like wonderful Superman message by the end.
Especially when he talked the Hulk down into getting back to Bruce Banner. He's just like, dude, just look at me. I'm your friend, buddy. I'm here to help you, buddy.
After getting socked too, that was great. Like he gets socked instead of like going red eyes and just going and pounding Hulk. He just talks to him.
But yeah, I didn't think Marvel had it in them that they could actually do a better Superman Spider-Man team up, but I think they nailed it, especially after their just terrible Deadpool Batman book.
Well, it's because you gave it to Zeb Wells to do the prime story on that one. That was a mistake.
Yeah. Well, they don't really have any good writers, do they?
It's funny, but with the crossovers, the Zeb
Marvel.
Wells one was the only one that tried to like explain how the crossover happened. All the other ones are like, yeah, there's just another
just
world where Marvel and DC exist together. But in the Zeb Wells one,
there's like he's the
yeah,
puppet master guy.
Yeah, he did all of that, but like pretty much every other story is just there's this other world where Marvel and DC characters coexist. But in the Zeb Wells, I remember them specifically being like, "This is how Deadpool got over here, and he went and he chased this down. This is what he did."
Yeah, but the way he did
another story tried to.
Yeah, the way he did that though was like 6 pages worth of expedition dialogue. It's like, okay, you spent so much time trying to explain how it happened, you forgot this. You have to tell a story.
That was a waste.
Breen says he remembers when the comic book press trashed those Superman Vacation issues, giving him 3 or 4 out of 10, while giving Gabby Rivera's America flawless reviews.
Yeah, a lot of people still on Twitter will get mad about those issues. Yeah.
Why do they hate family?
Because of Americana. Yes. Everyone hates anything to do with anything that's even remotely pro-America.
Maybe it's the same people that are mad about that stupid video game with the girl and the guy protected her.
Probably.
Yeah.
It's the same
Well, look-
attitude that
They
leads.
they just hate they hate the idea that of what man's purpose is, which is to be the protector. That's what.
Well, anybody who gives Gabby Rivera's America a glowing review is already sus to the 10th degree. So you could bring.
Oh, come on now, Gabe! By the holy menstruation.
That's
By
why they call you a
overpaid.
ball bag on comic book roundup, dude.
Yeah, they
there's
call
other
Gabe a
reasons.
ball bag on comic book.
I've been
Lot of
called.
No,
other
they-
reasons.
They call him names on there because he's actually the only guy that goes on and will give a comic a 6.
No,
Everybody else is like everything's an 8. 8 is the baseline.
You got to earn that 8. You got to earn that 9. You got to earn that 10. I'm not. What's that one there? Dad's comic reviews or whatever. He gives everything a 9 or a
Geek
10. Geek Dad gives everything a 9 or a 10.
Baseline. Yeah,
It's ridiculous.
he's got 3 scores: 9, 9, 5, and 10.
Legit. One day I was bored while I was waiting to record, and I went back, and I think you have to go back 3 or 4 years to go under an 8. It's ridiculous. It's so crazy.
What did you give Spider-Man Superman, Gabe?
I think I gave it a 7.5 or an 8.
Oh, that's too low. It's at least an 8.5. That was a good book.
Well, no, the Gwen Stacy, Lana Lang brought me down. The Ghost Spider, Supergirl brought me down. Just like little problems with the setups brought me down. So that's a higher score than I gave them the DC version, which I think I gave it a 6.5. But yeah, it wasn't worthy of a high score. It was just better. So
yeah, that's the problem with the anthologies. You end up getting 8 or 9 creative teams in there. Obviously, there's going to be some low moments.
if they cut out about half of the short stories, it probably would have got a higher score. Because you would have been able to do more, tell better, more complete stories, and focused on the winners instead of the not so greats. You would have got a higher score.
Let's hear for the people's. Daisuke Mamamoto says, "How is Red Hood not Punisher stories?"
It's a good question.
Well, they
Yes,
don't
he
want
is
to
the
let him kill
Punisher.
anyone anymore, so that's why.
I liked it when
Action
Red
figure
Hood would
can't-
just
action
brain
figure
people
can't
and tell
even come
Batman
with
to
a
leave
gun.
him alone.
He can't even come with a gun anymore in the action figures. He's got to have a crowbar or a sword or a
They,
knife.
they too badly want him to fit in with the Bat family. Be
Which
all
shouldn't
nice
even be a
and
thing. There
process.
needs to not be a Bat family. I wish
Yes.
Death of the Family had actually been about the death of the Bat family.
But
Like,
if Red
just,
Hood
not
killed-
necessarily killing all those characters, but just tearing them apart irrevocably so that Batman.
I'm fine with killing them.
Yeah, well, most of them. Yeah, I'm fine with that too.
If Red Hood kills people on a regular basis, then you can't use him for the DC Summer Swimsuit Special.
I think it's the Summer of Hawk Girl special or something.
I-
right?
Gabe, is something wrong with me? Gabe is making an insane amount of sense today.
No, you're correct.
No,
You're
you're
correct.
feeling
No,
bad.
no, the
because
logic
you
is
called him a
sound.
ball bag. Don't feel
If
bad
Red
for him.
He's trying to
Red
make
Hood-
up for it.
if Red
Yeah.
Hood does something bad, you're not supposed to lust after him. So if you do that, then you can't put him in the swimsuit special. Because then
Sure.
therefore he's an
He's
evil
a
villain.
bad. He's a bad boy. Every lady loves the bad boy.
It's the
then-
mentality.
Sally says that he was referring to the Damon anime, which I have not watched.
The Matt Damon anime.
You know what?
Matt
Maybe that would be better
Damon.
for Doc. Maybe that would be better for Doc. I think if Doc started with the One Punch Man anime instead of reading the book, I think he would get into it better.
I thought we were talking about a Matt Damon anime
No.
because that'd be
He's talking- He's talking about Demon of the Shadow Realm.
I mean, that's a good name. That makes me immediately go, "Ooh, what's that about?" It's about a demon of the Shadow Realm, idiot. Oh, okay.
yeah.
One of those. How did you get all these Aaron Lopresti?
Hard.
Right?
I think that was a legitimate question at the time.
So I guess we will hit this, even though Aaron said this was the worst topic in the history of the channel. But who are the best comic writers in 2026? I'll throw it to you first, Aaron, so nobody can steal your answer.
I
who
already
do you think
said.
is absolutely the best.
I already said.
Your number one guy.
My number one guy that I can dependably go to is Jeremy Adams.
Thought you were going to say Dennis Camp.
Yeah. Dennis Camp. I don't think he can write his way out of a paper bag.
Jeremy Adams is pretty great. He had his
Mhm.
Flash Gordon run. He had his Flash run preceding his Green Lantern, and now he's on Aquaman, taking Aquaman to new heights.
He had a
It's a
great
very,
run
very
on,
good
on
choice.
Flash Gordon, a character that I normally would not be terribly interested in, picking up a book about. Although I respect his place in comic history, just never been somebody who's like super resonated with me. But I love that run. I mean, I like if you could put Jeremy Adams on a character that I do not care about, and I would go and check it out because I'm like, oh, he's probably going to do something interesting with it. So Jeremy's up there, Jim Zub's up there. He's killing it on Conan right now. Josh Williamson's killing it on GI Joe. But it's like the same guys that
everybody
we
else's
talk about.
answers.
This is the top, but this is the problem with the topic. Is the topic is just what are our books of the week?
No.
Recommend the same people.
Who's your best writer? You said it's Jeremy Adams. You put your fucking flag.
But
there.
but the topic on the screen is plural comics writers.
Because we're
true.
people. We're all going to have different answers. And you met Jeremy at what is it? Transformers the movie? No, G.I. Joe.
Well, I've run into Jeremy like at every show that I go to because like he's like HH. He's omnipresent at every show. And I randomly run into him on the floor. But yeah, no, I ran into him. I think the first time I ever met him was at Comic-Con Revolution, whatever the LA one is called. I think I ran into him there on the floor, and then later I saw him at the G.I. Joe the movie event that Skybound did down at Universal City Walk. He was in attendance as well.
And he's a confirmed dork, right?
Well, the thing is, put him, like obviously he loves G.I. Joe. He showed up for that event. Maybe he should be writing one of these Energon titles.
Oh, he do an amazing job on there. But I think he's exclusive to DC right now.
Yeah.
Curses.
All right, Doc. You are actually reading new comic books again. Who's your number one writer?
Oh, honestly, I'm probably just gonna have to go with Josh Williamson because I really, really, really like G.I. Joe. It was a toss-up between that and Larry Hama.
Yeah, Larry's
Josh
Larry's-
Williamson's also got the Superman book, which is absolutely amazeballs.
Which I'm not reading.
You should be because it's really fucking good, dude.
Right.
He
See, we
actually makes
forget
people like
Larry
Brian
because Larry is such a fixture on A Real American Hero. We forget him, but he's doing banger work right now.
Well, he's
He
also
really
got
is.
his own new superhero book that came out from Image or Skybound Patrol. I forget the name of it right now, but I think it came out last month.
I'll find out.
Williamson's a good pick there, Dylan. His G.I. Joe book is good. What do you think is better, G.I. Joe or Superman?
Overall, GI Joe, but these past few issues, Superman.
Yeah, it's like
So I'd
really
say-
going up there.
Yeah, he's done an incredible job with Superman. Ever since we got like the Dark Legion arc, he's just been hitting it on all cylinders on Superman. Because some of his earlier Superman stuff was a mixed bag, but ever since we got to that Dark Legion stuff, it's been incredible.
Yeah, that was another Suscape take when he was like lauding Farm and Graft, or whatever they were called.
Yeah, not good.
I didn't like Farmer Craft.
He also did Marilyn Moonlight, who has a really good design but a really stupid power.
Yeah,
And
Don't
then
care
they
about her
ended
at
up
all.
changing the power to make it worse. And then
Yeah.
she disappeared.
All right, Jim.
what is your
you
power?
are
To annoy us. Oh, wait, that's yours.
very effective.
I don't think I even understand what her power is or where it came from.
She
can't
had
remember what it is.
the
That's
spirit
Ghost.
of Metropolis, and she had to do things at night.
Yes. Remember that specifically.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right.
That's the problem.
Jim, you are a cranky man. You don't love a lot of things. There has to be one writer for you that is knocking it out of the park. Who do you think is doing the best job right now?
Joshua Williamson's pretty good. I'm still going to go with Jeff Johns because of the Ghost Machine stuff.
You took my answer. Nobody's writing more good books right now than Jeff Johns.
Yeah, I think he gets kind of pushed aside. People have, different opinions of him as a person and things like that. But I think the Ghost Machine stuff in general just kind of gets forgotten at points, but it's all great. So I'm going him, Jeff Johns.
Yeah. Geiger, Redcoat. He's doing Rook Exodus when
Rook.
it comes back off hiatus.
Hyde
And then,
Street.
Yeah,
Hyde Street might be the best one.
crazy.
And they're all different genres.
Yep.
and mostly on time. Also.
I see
There
a
are
lot of people. I see a lot lot of people complaining about the delays and saying that it's killing their enthusiasm.
Delays are tough.
The delays
Books
are-
are so good. It's just the delays are it's rough.
Yeah. But I agree with you. I think Jeff Johns would probably be my answer. But now that you've stolen it, I'll have to think of something else.
Dennis Camp.
Ugh.
He
Dennis
wrote the
Camp
funniest
is firing
issue
on
we've
all
ever read.
cylinders.
I mean, me and you love that Mutant Island. It's the best.
I think Ultimates 23, they return to Muty Island, and we're going to
God,
see the
we gotta go to
monstrosities
that.
again.
It'll be great.
We get to see Diaper Head again.
I hope Diaper Neck is
Diaper Neck.
alive.
Diaper Neck. That's right.
Crab claws.
Crab hands. Yep. You got
Nerve.
the nerve.
Nerve endings without the body.
Yep.
So good.
Makes total sense.
And also one of the best lines ever of that's my negative zone.
Oh,
There's
yes.
so many-
Oh
so many
God, I
great
thought that
times
he
we've
thought
had.
that was so clever. Oh,
So many great. Oh, he pat himself on the back on that one.
All right, Gabe. You're sus as hell. People are calling you a ball bag. Do you have a favorite writer these days?
I'm going to be that guy and say I reject the framing of your question.
Who's the best writer? Who's doing the best job?
The reason let me explain. The reason I reject the framing of the question is because there's no such thing as the best writer. There's the best writer for certain types of stories, certain genres, because there's one writer that might be fantastic for horror, one that might be fantastic.
We just proved this wrong with Jeff Johns because he's doing
Johns
every
getting all
genre.
that.
He's nailing all of it.
Not quite.
And he just
Not-
did the best crossover story as well. Like he's nailing
not
everything.
not quite, because if you look at what Jeff Johns is doing with all the Ghost Machine titles, it's basically an element of supernatural fantasy that interweaves, even with Rook Exodus, because they're treating it like the
Wrong.
technology as
Not
a
connected.
magical power, like technomancy. So I would say probably of the list, the one who's the most diverse and can do the most and is the most successful, I would probably go along with Jeff Johns. But if you ask me, say, for example, who's the best writer that gets the DC vibe, it's Jeremy Adams. If you ask me who's the best writer that gets like the hard-nosed, gritty action genre vibe, it is Mark Miller. So if you want the one that's like maybe the
Who gets
most
the
successful,
Marvel vibe?
oh, nobody's doing anything with Marvel right now. It's terrible. Marvel's terrible across the board. If you want somebody who's like mediocre or consistent, and maybe better than mediocre, consistent, it's Jed McKay. Just as a matter of being level.
He's the best at being mediocre.
Yeah, but I did say a little better than mediocre, but yeah. So if you want the best, who's the most diverse? Honestly, it's Jeff Johns, but I think Kirkman comes close. I think Kirkman gets pretty close. Because if you look at Skinbreaker, you look at what he's doing with Transformers, you're looking at what he did with Invincible. If you're looking at what he's got with, yeah, exactly. So there's a range there, but I mean, Jeff Johns probably the top, but very close second would be Kirkman.
This is why Sus Gabe is a ball bag.
Yeah.
I give him credit though. He
Motoric was right.
embraces the ball bag.
Yeah,
he doesn't try to get away from it.
I would like to point
I'm
out
gonna have
in
some
the
merch
chat-
out
in the-
soon.
in the chat, Virtual Reality Fitness, we found the one person that's a fan of Kang.
I did see
Oh, good.
that. Yeah.
He's extolling the virtues of Kang in the chat. Good on you,
I'll
Virtual.
get- I will say Jed McKay's best villain so far is General Strange. I think that's the one that he set up the best, made the most powerful, and had the most potential, even though he got basically turned into a soft guy at the end.
Doc, I know Doc has a General Strange joke just waiting.
Oh, dude.
Let's not do it.
No, I think I'll hold. I mean,
Yeah.
Guess when
All right,
in the
Dylan,
military, there's a lot
are
of
you the
General
last one?
Strange.
I believe so.
Who's your number one guy?
Well, obviously it'd be Jeff Johns, but for the sake of being different, since we just went over why Jeff Johns is the best, I'll go with Rick Remender. I love what he's doing with Escape and Sacrificers. I think both those books are incredible, and pretty much everything he comes out with, I love. As far as big two, I'd go with Philip Kennedy Johnson. What he did with Batman and Robin was great. The best Batman book we've had in years. He actually added depth to Damian Wayne and actually advanced his character, which no one does. I really enjoy Book of L right now, and Infernal Hulk. His whole saga with Hulk has been the only consistently good thing at Marvel. So, yeah, those would be my.
Jimmy,
picks.
you're gonna let him get away with saying Book of L is good? You yelled at me over this.
I don't love the Book of L, I'll tell you that, but it's for somebody like Dylan. It's for somebody who loves Philip Kennedy Johnson and wants more of that lore. I said that as well, but I agree with the Batman and Robin, and it's a shame because then you end up having that Batman book that pretty much like almost erases it. And I think people didn't. A lot of people didn't even read the Philip Kennedy Johnson Batman and Robin, and they should, to see how good that duo can be.
Yes,
It's so good.
When Damian's getting mad at Tim for retiring, and Tim being like, "I hope you realize there's more outside of this than just being Robin." It's like we just had a whole arc about how he discovered that he volunteers at the hospital now, and like there's a whole thing about that,
like all that. And plus, I'm like, Tim, please, you're not Robin. Get the hell out of here. Like, what are you doing? But yeah, that was the whole arc. He just went so against it. It was so bad.
Man, you guys stole all my answers. I don't know that I got anything left. You took Remender, Mark Miller, Jeff Johns, Josh Williamson, Jeremy Adams.
Use your David Pepos. I don't know.
David Pepos has one good book. Well, and that Cable Love and Chrome book was
David P. Hole.
Yeah. Actually, you know who I could mention for you, Wes? You could go with Eric Burnham on the
I love that
Saturday
guy.
Morning
He's
Adventures,
fantastic.
because that book is never bad. It's
actually, everything I've ever read from Eric Burnham, I've enjoyed.
It's really good. And Wes, I read this week's, and even though we already went through it, and I was laughing. I was laughing so much. So I was going to bring him up. I forgot.
Shredder's Dark Helmet is perfect.
And again, if you give an award for a book that does exactly what it's supposed to do, like 100%, that would be it. He does it so well.
Yeah.
See,
things are definitely all to come up, boys. Things are looking better, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
We got a big
Marvel.
Mark Miller crossover coming this year too, right?
Yeah. Not from Marvel though.
No, it's his spacefaring Miller World characters.
Oh, Miller work. Yeah.
Starlight and all those.
Miller's
Space
should be on the top of that list of people who would like do diverse stories, but they're all pretty darn good. Miller's been killing it last couple of years.
Are we being crazy for not throwing Scott Snyder since he has the hottest book and we did just come off the best issue of Absolute Batman?
No.
Why are you even bringing that up?
Because that fucking issue was
Absolute Batman is really good. I will say we just had a couple vocal people that don't read Absolute Batman saying, no, we can't do Scott Snyder. I think that's kind of stupid. I like Absolute Batman. The reason I don't have him as one of my favorite writers right now is because it's one book.
Yeah, it's
that's why I don't have him on here. But I think Absolute Batman is really good. I really do.
It's one
enjoy
book
it.
and it's one.
I really liked what I did with Batman with Bane. I thought that was really good, but that's the whole reason I didn't mention him, is because it's just one book.
I love Absolute Wonder Woman, but I'm not going to put
pony.
Kelly Thompson on my best writers of the
but she still
now
does Jet the Land Shark.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And Scott Snyder did do DCKO, which by a DC Comics event standards was pretty good.
But he also did.
Says you.
Yeah,
It was okay. It had
It was
some
fine.
great moments, but
it
yeah,
fell
it was
apart.
fine.
It fell apart.
It
It fell apart at the
I'll
end.
tell you right now, if you go by Scott Snyder Absolute Batman and then you think of KO, it doesn't elevate that deal. It pushes it down a little.
Yeah.
But
Same
even
reason.
Jim admitted that last issue of Absolute Batman was fucking amazing.
What do you mean, even Jim? That's one of my
Because
favorite
you're fucking you're
Well, I know I'm
skeptical.
miserable, but that's one of my favorite books. I love it. And oh my god, that last issue, like
You talk about the Scarecrow issue?
of the year, that could be up there as well. It was
Dude,
so
when he
good.
looks across and sees him in the building and they just see the smoke.
just waves.
Ooh, that was good. The introduction in the beginning was good too. Yeah.
Oh,
The introduction was
great.
good.
Perfect.
The comic
All of it.
was too crowded. There was too many. There were too many things going on at the same time.
It was too
they'd-
loud.
No, different. If he'd focused on Scarecrow and made that the entire comic, yeah, it would have been 10 out of 10. But he's trying to do too many plot threads all at once in one comic, and it got too busy. But yeah, the introduction was great.
I liked it.
There's a question for you, Dylan. That if you like the Absolute Superman book,
I read like the first 2 issues, didn't like it, hopped off, and then I came back on when Juan Ferreira came on for the Hawkman arc, and I've been enjoying it these last
it's a
few
lot
issues.
better now.
Yeah,
it started out slow, and now
Since,
it's more
like,
of a Superman book.
Since like issue 15 around was like when I came back, and I've been enjoying it. So I'd say right now it's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hearing
He's
that-
starting to feel heroic.
I'm
Yep.
hearing that Tim Seeley is writing the only readable X-Men book. Like that,
Psylocke?
Psylocke is actually pretty good.
I think that Jeff Loeb's X-Men of Apocalypse is probably better.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I've not
But
read
The
that.
problem is it
only
only-
3 months.
Yeah, it's like a quarterly title.
So
So
it's kind of cool. But the art by Simone DeMeo has got all of the Joe Mad feels you'd ever want.
Oh yeah.
Very Joe Mad, Roger Cruz.
But there aren't many good X-Men books to crow about it these days, unfortunately.
No, but if Doc is in on X-Men of Apocalypse, I'm gonna go check it out.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's just there's only 4 issues out right now.
Yeah.
I think there's one left to go, right? Maybe it's 2.
I think 2 more because
Yeah.
there's the alpha issue and then issues 1 through 3 out so far. Issue 4 comes out, I think, next week or the week after.
And also, just to bounce up on what Dylan was saying, and I don't like to support his positions, but Philip Kennedy Johnson legitimately had the best ongoing DC book with Batman and Robin and the best ongoing Marvel book with Hulk at the exact same time, which is impressive.
Yes. Great. Also, no one mentioned, but I'd say I'd throw Chris Condon up there too. I really like what he's been doing with the Brutal Dark's been pretty good. I liked Ultimate Wolverine for the most part, and its shortcomings I blame more on like how they failed the Ultimate Universe in general, and don't really put that on Condon. And his Green Arrow was really good. Sadly, it got canceled. But Chris Condon does good work, and he's doing another Texas Blood, so that's going to be good.
It's coming back.
His
Picking
best
up
work
the
is
same number.
his best work is outside the big 2. That Texas
I don't know. I
Blood-
think that Brutal Dark book is good.
It's really good.
It's getting better every single
Yeah.
issue.
They already
But
announced
it's
the
not
figure.
building.
They already announced the figure. Of
But when you
Ultimate
compare that
Wolverine.
to that Texas Blood and the Enfield Gang Massacre, those were better.
Enfield Gang Massacre was so good.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard to judge that because we have completed stories there. This where only 3 issues into Brutal Dark. So who knows? By the
Should
end
we
of the arc,
mention Ed Brubaker? You know, he's still doing Criminal and everything.
See, I
that
was
he writes is,
thinking
like,
of
perfect.
Brubaker. Yeah, everything he does is great. The only problem is it's like 1 book a year. That's why I was like, same reason I didn't mention Scott Snyder is the same reason I probably wouldn't mention Brubaker. He's incredible, but it's like 1 book a year, which I think we get in May or June. I think is when we get the next installment of Criminal. So that's
And
gonna be great.
To the web slinger in the chat, I'm going to say the reason that Jonathan Hickman isn't mentioned is because number 1, finish the story before we can judge whether or not you're doing a good job. And
you have to stop quitting.
Yeah.
You have to quit quitting.
He had a really good Alien Avengers book.
Yeah.
But he also did, Nuke or Gods, and then what was the last one? Imperial, and they weren't as good. So he's a little less consistent.
And he also had the Ultimate Invasion, which was the lead into the Ultimates, and that 4-parter was terrible.
And it turns out that Ultimate Spider-Man isn't that great.
Not a lot of Spider-Man.
Didn't go anywhere
Yeah.
that was terribly
That's the
interesting.
biggest problem. There wasn't a lot of Spider-Man. You never saw him develop into Spider-Man. It just kind of meandered at the beginning. And, yeah.
So there you go, Aaron. I told you this segment could be fun. You poo-pooed all over me.
I mean, I mostly checked out, but sure, okay.
Well, you should be checking in to find out all these.
No, I
great
checked in on
writings.
I checked in on the chat. That's where I went.
We do have some peoples here. We got the Kai Jeremiah. I actually like Supergirl saying how dumb it is that there are 30 different Spider-Girls. You are correct. But
That
of course,
was-
Spider-Girl could have come back and said it's dumb that there are 15 different versions of Supergirl.
Yeah. True.
Correct.
That was the best part of that little story, but that should have been it. Should have been like that 1 page and like we're good.
That could have been it. Yeah.
You know?
Just show up, diss Spider-Gwen. And be
No,
like,
Yeah,
you're welcome.
On to the next story.
Yeah. But you are correct. I did like that line. But
So
I will
actually, it would have been better if-
Stephanie Phillips did not embarrass herself. That story wasn't awful. It just wasn't very
well, she didn't have enough pages to embarrass herself. Like you could just lock into one little bit.
Kalichioki. So who did MJ kill this week? Can someone clarify this? Recently saw somewhere after delays, Jim Lee just finished the first half of Hush 2. The first half?
Can we spoil it? Can we spoil it?
I'm
Yeah,
going to.
She
Killed Torment. She killed Torment.
Yeah,
She's
she
doing
killed
multiple-
Torment, but considering
Whoa.
that nobody knows who
Hans Gruber
Torment
them.
is, why he was there, what his purpose was other than spiral murder, or why he focused on any of the characters, did she actually kill anybody? Not really. She killed a plot device.
And Jim Lee said, he's having some health issues. He put it out on Facebook. Doc and I had a conversation about this, but he has 2 pages left for Hattush Part 6, but it's the first half of Hush 2, and supposedly we're going to get another 6 issues. When that'll happen, if he does illustrate it, it's going to take years. obviously.
Who cares? It's not like the story is like lighting the world on fire.
I agree with you, but
Gee, if only somebody could have predicted that.
I think we all kind of did. Remember, it was like, yeah, this book's gonna come out, and we were all like, okay.
they're like, well, they said he had like 15 months to work on it before they announced it. And I was like, oh, you might need more time. Like,
They should have done like Kirkman did with Finch, where he gave him like 8 years to do Skinbreaker. They should have done that.
definitely. And he does say that that's what he's going to do moving forward.
Yeah. He said no more pre-orders or nothing until he has the entire thing done.
I mean, that's a good way to go. It's like I learned that lesson on Kneel Before Doomface. When we do too, it'll be done.
Yeah. They should have again. Like, who was clamoring for Hush 2? Where it's like, we can't wait. We need to get it out now.
Well, if you would have
like just to put it out as a trade, probably were clamoring for it.
Yeah,
mostly.
Should have done it as Black Label also, so that way Jeff Loeb doesn't have to worry about continuity at all. Because right now, a lot of that book makes 0 sense.
Wait, you think he worries about continuity when it's not in?
He says he does. He talks about it. He's a nerd for continuity, but if you read the book, it's like, I don't think that's true.
Well, not this continuity.
Well, and technically,
The
that volume of
concept of it.
that volume of Batman is still ongoing, while the next volume of Batman is on issue like 7 or 8. Kind of weird.
Yeah. He talked about at the Emerald City Comic Con panel. He's like, I had a beautiful setup that would read straight into Matt Fraction's Batman. He's like, you'll get it sometime.
Very nice. Should we get into some comic book recommendations and put a bow on this thing so we can watch the draft?
Yeah.
All right, Gabe. Well, I'm so glad that you came back, and I don't agree with Motoric. I don't think you're a ball bag. I think you're a great dude.
I appreciate
You're
that.
still
Thank you.
sus, but you're a great guy.
I'll own that. I'll own that. Okay, recommendations for first of all, of course, subscribe to Comical Opinions and Weird Science DC Comics, Weird Science Marvel Comics. Our YouTube channel is actually doing pretty well right now. So yes, please follow along, doing all kinds of interesting topics that hopefully you'll love. So please do that. As far as recommendations go, speaking of father-daughter relationships, Corpse Night #1 from Image Comics. If you've read that,
I'm with you.
pretty solid. I'm not thrilled about Rico Renzi coming back to do colors because the man just can't get away from the color purple. But overall, not bad. So Corpse Night #1. Of course, we talked about it. The just because it's a curiosity, if nothing else, the Marvel DC Superman Spider-Man book. I'd recommend you pick it up just because there are some good spots, if not a little bit of mix of everything. Here's the one that I think is going to surprise you. I liked Spider-Versity #1. It is I liked it. It is
right.
It's basically all the Spider Family kids coming together to form a team under the tutelage of Norman Osborn and Jessica Drew. I don't like variants as a rule. I don't like how far Marvel's get into variants. But as far as if you're going to put kids together in a team up book, kind of like like a not a Harry Potter style book, but just putting them in a classroom, the first issue was well done. I like the way they set that up. So check it out. I don't know if issue 2 is going to be any good, but we'll see. Also, going over to DC side of the house, Absolute Wonder Woman #19, Green Lantern #34, and surprisingly, I like Superman. I like Superboy Prime. So Superman #37.
Very nice. And Daisuke says, any good indie comic writers? The writers we talk about are only writers that are well-known properties or non-indies like IDW. Maybe Josh Viola. I haven't read anything from Josh Viola that I know of.
I've not even. I
talked about Rick Remender, who's not on well-known properties. It's all his original stuff.
Yeah, and Mark Miller. Yeah.
And I mentioned David Pepos, but it's because of his indie work. It's not the stuff that he's done at Marvel or the reasons that I would recommend it. But if you're looking for an indie writer, Tony Fleeks is about to get, I guess. Well, he's gotten his big break at DC now with
Deathstroke,
but
which I like a lot. I like Deathstroke a lot.
Yeah,
that's a very good book.
First issue really good.
Yeah, Jim Zub on Conan. Jim Zub on Conan.
Jim Zub is absolutely fantastic. W. Maxwell Prince, I used to really like his Ice Cream Man. There was one issue that I found completely off-putting, but he is about to have a book over at DC as well. So he's a really interesting kind of horror writer that I think is really good.
there's a lot of like people in the actual like crowdfunding sphere too that are great. You know, you got Per Berg out there. You've got Von Coleman, who's been on the show. You've got Dave Brink, who does Perfect 10. You've got Caro Brown. You know, she's doing some really fun stuff over at Rippaverse, as is Andrew, who's been in the chat before. You know, he's got his Speedster book out right now. You know, there's a lot of
Pat Shand. We didn't talk about Pat Shand.
Oh, you know what? Pat Shand is like the best kept secret in comics. He consistently sells a bunch of books. I almost got to work with him on Miss Meow. We had several issues in the can, and then Merc exploded because the publisher is a greedy, money-focused idiot who, you know, makes choices that lose money. You know, there's a ton of good indie people out there, but a lot of them are in the crowdfunding sphere right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would also put out there Mark Pellegrini. He does really awesome stuff on Common America and Black Ops, which are really good books.
Yep.
And obviously he works with Iconic, but certainly an indie writer. So I like him a lot. All right, Sparrow, what are you recommending this week? Are you recommending we get toys?
I'm recommending you get toys. I'm recommending you head down to Target and pick up the clearanced Cobra Diver 2-pack. Cobra Diver, you've been down too long in the midnight sea. But it's got the great G.I. Joe diver from the cartoon. It's got the Cobra Diver. Great 2-pack right now. They're like $27. You know, they might go lower if they don't sell out. So, you know, you might want to keep an eye on it. But it's a good price for that 2-pack. I'm also going to recommend the Cobra La Royal Guard. This is a deluxe figure. It's a little pricey right now, but it comes with a lot of different pieces to make a lot of different variations of these guys. So I think when these guys go on sale on Amazon, you know, I think it's a good idea to maybe pick up a small army if you're into that. I'm also going to recommend the heavy duty figure, which I finally got, and I finally put all of his gear on him.
Missiles.
This is all the missiles and his machine gun pack, and just like this is a massive. Yes, but radically impractical character and loadout. But that's
Do
what
the
makes
missiles shoot?
No, they don't shoot.
No.
That's what makes G.I. Joe fun. And then I got the Storm Arena Dan figure, which is absolutely fantastic. It you know, I have the soda version, which is the only other real Dan that they've put out, and this one is actually superior to that, which. You know, even after all these years, soda figures still stand up. But the Storm Arena stuff, the Jada stuff, if you like Street Fighter, highly recommend it. So those are my recommendations for this week.
Very cool. Daisuke says Josh Viola is doing the Soul Reaver comics. I have not read Soul Reaver, but I will give it a chance if I get the opportunity. I'll definitely give him a read.
Based on the video games with Raziel?
I'm assuming, yeah. And then also, you know, Michael Chavez is the writer of that Corpse Knight book, and I do totally agree with Gabe that was pretty darn cool. Yeah, I enjoyed it. There is too much purple in the book, but other than that, pretty darn cool.
It's a failing of Rico Renzi.
Jim, what are you going to recommend this week? Should we all stop reading Marvel so we can recover from our illnesses?
Maybe. Go listen to dirty songs and you'll recover. I got Superman, Spider-Man, Superman, and TMNT Saturday Morning Adventures.
That's so good, wasn't it?
It was good. And again, if you're reading some stuff, even if you like dark stuff and whatever, it's a good, fun palate cleanser type deal. It's what it is, and it's fun. This one was really fun. It's
what you need after a Dennis Camp book to make you like life again.
Yeah, exactly. After you go to Taco Bell because you have to smoke so much pot to get through that Dennis Camp book, and then you read this, and it makes everything better.
I do need to tell Improbi, if you go to Nerdrotics Vegas meetup in August, you will not see me sing karaoke.
That was me. That was me. I messed up. I typed it in the chat.
I was like, what? I'm not committing to that shit. I don't.
No, come on. You know what? Come on, Wes. You and I will do a duet. We'll sing Islands in the Stream. It won't be weird at all.
No, that'd be good.
No, I don't want to do
Summer
that
loving.
So
Not to hop back too much, but you know who does a decent job at Marvel when he's given the right material?
Ben Percy.
Ben Percy.
Yes.
Ben Percy.
Punisher's great.
He's pretty lame. He's pretty mad.
Punisher's good.
really good, but once we get 12 issues in, we might be saying something different.
Yeah,
That's
he
the problem with him.
Gets lame.
You're saying that he overstays his welcome, like he
For like the first 5 issues, he's the most consistent writer at Marvel.
Yep.
Then after that is when things start to fall apart.
Well, in his defense, he expects to be canceled by issue 5. So when they go, "You're getting more issues," he's like, "Oh, what? I don't have a plan for this. I guess I can do
True.
something."
He's a bit of a mixed mystery box writer, but he's not particularly good at paying it off. So he's just always throwing another mystery box out there, and it gets kind of old.
The J.J. Abrams mystery box problem is that there's never an answer to the mystery. Like, you have to start out as a writer knowing what your reveal is.
You have to have a plan.
Build the mystery around it. Yeah, it's
You have to have a
you
plan.
can't just throw out a bunch of shit and go, figure it out on the day.
That's how I've been told Tom King does all his books. It's basically, he says the books will write themselves.
Well, he just knows he has to get to the point where he makes a woman eat a rat. And if he has that locked in, then he's good.
Well, the cocaine helps too. You need the cocaine to make that work.
That is true.
He has to make a woman eat a rat, and he needs to make the man have a mommy wife.
There is a chance for another good Marvel book coming up because we did see Brian Hill is going to be doing the Miles Morales book, and I'm definitely going to check that out.
That has a chance of being good. The only problem is,
it's Miles Morales.
It's Miles Morales, and like
I don't hold that against the book.
And any chance of it mattering died a long time, and any chance of them actually committing to him beyond 5 issues died a long time ago too.
I'd love to see Brian Edward Hill come in and establish Miles as his own character, give him his own rogues gallery, create some villains for him, and actually give him a status quo that would actually stick. But the problem is no one can come into Marvel and make a status quo that sticks because they're just not committed to anything beyond 5 months.
And nobody wants to give Miles Morales a chance until they can get Spider-Man right. If you can't get Spider-Man right, nobody's going to extend themselves to Miles.
Yep.
All right, Dylan, what are your comic book recommendations this week? You read anything good?
Yeah, there's some good books this week. Absolute Flash number 14, which the first 12 issues of Absolute Flash you can skip, but this 2-issue arc for Mirror Master has been pretty good. I've really enjoyed it. Superman 37, like we talked about, is really good. Incredible Hulk Infernal Hulk, number 6. I'm really enjoying that still. The Peril of the Brutal Dark and Ezra K Mystery number 3, the longest title ever, but it's really good. The only Vertigo title I am currently reading, and it's really good. I did enjoy the Copperhead silent issue. It was a little confusing, but overall I enjoyed it. And then the Spider-Man Superman number 1, which I got the Gary Frank variant, which it's worth the price of admission just for the Jeff Johns Gary Frank story.
Very nice. You got any big videos or anything? You got a big review on your channel for that book?
Not for that book, but I'm gonna have a video talking about lanterns going up today because we got even more stupid stuff because they revealed the poster where it says only one person can wear the ring, even though the title is lanterns, plural.
Didn't they just pull down all of the teaser stuff for that?
I think they took the teaser off of HBO Max.
All the official channels took it down.
Interesting. Very cool. Be on the lookout for that. And Doc, what are you recommended this week?
Well, I am definitely not recommending that you skip our review of Amazing Spider-Man number 27. So don't skip the review,
skip the book.
Yeah, don't skip the review, skip the book. The Amazing Spider Carnage number 27 was fucking retarded.
All right, talk about stuff you like.
And so instead, I literally bought 2 comic books this week, one of which was The Amazing Spider Carnage number 27, which I really recommend you not buying. And the other one was Youngblood number 4, because I'm a fucking sucker. It has a terrible cover, by the way. Like, it's one of the worst Liefeld covers I've seen in a while. But I'm a sucker for that book whenever it comes out. So those are the only books I bought. You couldn't have paid me to buy Spider-Man Superman. But instead, we're going to go with a bunch of retro card figures. You got the Joe Infantry, the Cobra Trooper, the female Crimson Guard. I know I recommended, I think, a couple of these individually, but I love them all together. And then we've got some more retro. I've been really, really loving these retro carded versions. Sometimes I like the classified version better, but a lot of times I just like the retro version. The Cobra Commander. There's been a bunch of other ones, but none of them quite feel like Cobra Commander. So now I just need to I need to do a hooded version.
Oh, I've already got a hooded version painted for you, Doc. I just have to send it.
Oh yeah, I
to your
forgot.
site.
You got to. Oh yes,
Hmm.
yes. So, and CoverGirl's coming out today or tomorrow and going into her Wolverine.
Nice.
So nice. So those are my only recommendations this week. I'm literally just recommending old GI Joes or retro GI Joes.
Oh, very nice. And I recommend everybody watch the draft, root for the Chiefs, and have a fantastic weekend.
Oh,
I know Dylan's having a great weekend compared to me, but
I also
gonna
picked
get
up a couple of these Crimson Vipers because they were clearance down to like
Jim's
$8.
team's the one that screwed over Doc's team though on the draft.
Yep. Yeah.
I
I
wanna
wanna hear
it.
Phone with them. It was so great. They're on the phone with them. They're trying to get a hold of them.
We're gonna draft you.
Did you see the king of gingers the Steelers drafted yesterday?
Yeah.
He's got this. He is ginger offensive lineman from Iowa with the most amazing, glorious mullet I've ever seen, and the ginger mustache. There is.
Have we not
nothing
got a
about-
comic book called The King of Gingers?
I have no idea
It's like a good title.
because
Coming
Netflix
soon
will
from-
fuck it up.
Coming soon from Mark Miller, the King of Gingers.
Yes.
Sparrow, are you showing off your Cobra Commander hooded?
I'm showing Doc what he's. I'm showing Doc the hooded head that he's getting.
He looks dope.
Well, very nice.
Yeah, so we do these over at Big Head Studios Customs on Instagram. So go check us out. It is the best. I've seen a lot of guys have done Cobra Commander head sculpts, with the hood, but I can honestly say that ours is still the best. Nobody's topped us yet. So go check that out if you want a hooded Cobra Commander.
Yes.
Very good. Well, I'm going to bounce out of here because I need to eat some chicken nuggets. I hope everyone has a fantastic week.